What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the ADCC Watch Party. Today, we're going to be looking back at the 2022 ADCC World Championship, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, grappling tournaments in Jiu-Jitsu history. I'm here with my friends in studio.
Yeah, what's up, Trey?
Lots of people calling in. I'm Trey Robinson. We got Reed Connell over here. We got Nicholas Meregali. You guys know him. Joey Scoops back there, Uncle Corey, and then calling in, we got Kenny Florian. Kenny, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, glad to have you here, dude.
Yeah, ready to watch some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we wish you could have joined us, here in studio, but it's nice to have you calling in and everything. Thanks for coming.
My face.
Yeah.
No one deserves
It's
that.
it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We got this fireplace going and
Yeah,
everything. It's a
nice
good ambiance in
Nice
here.
vibes. Got
Very
the
romantic. It's good. I like
100%. Nicholas, I want to ask you, man, just overall, how's training been going for this year's ADCC?
2 weeks away,
Yeah,
pretty
2
much,
weeks.
right?
2 weeks. It was pretty good so far. It's actually done. I would say my camp. I'm already like tempering down, training less, and recovering the body, refreshing the mind, more than ready to compete. And it's more about time right now. Maintain the body as healthy as possible, keeping the diet, keeping the mind fresh, and go there, do the work.
I think last time you were here in studio, last time we talked to you kind of on air and stuff, you talked a lot about how double gold is the goal. Is that still the goal? That's the plan? Walk away double gold?
Well, I guess like there's no point to go to a tournament thinking about, well, my goal is 2 silver medals,
Yeah.
Like double goal is what I have in mind. I tried last year, last 2 years ago actually. I didn't have enough skills to win, but even though I got third place and second place in upper weight, third place in my division, and right now I feel more than ready. Like I feel I'm still having a lot of things to develop, as I always say, and I always want to perfect my game in different ways, but what I have right now, it's more than enough to go there and control people as I've been doing in the last 7. I'm 17-0 now, 16-0, something like that.
Something like
Meregali.
that.
16, yeah, against world champions, not against random dudes in opens anywhere, It's like big stakes, and I'm excited.
For sure.
And Kenny, you were there in 2022. You'll be there in 2024. What are you looking forward to most about this? It's been a wild build-up, and here we're 2 weeks away. So what are you looking forward to?
Man, well, ADCC always brings a crazy amount of upsets. There's always something crazy that happens, some new star that emerges. And I think that's probably what I'm most excited about, is who's that unknown that's going to come in here and kind of surprise everybody. But I wanted to ask Nicholas, besides experience, to him, what do you think has changed the most in his game? He looks like a completely different guy. He looks very comfortable competing in Nogi. But Nicholas, what is that thing?
I think time, actually. I didn't have enough time to develop my Nogi game for the last ADCC. I had like 5 years here with John in Austin, and I never had experience with wrestling before. I just started training when I moved here. So, and ADCC grappling, basically, it's one of the main skills is stand-up game, and I didn't have any solid experience on that. So I kind of struggled too much. I was focusing more on developing my wrestling, so I didn't make a transition on the other scenarios of jiu-jitsu, like top position and bottom. But right now with time, I was able to just connect the piece, and as anything in life, skill development, you need time. You're not gonna be able to have a solid skill in half year, in 1 year. So I have right now almost 2.5, and I knew it would happen because I had my background from the gi, which is a completely different sport, but still having a little bit of a relation. And I feel right now, as things are clicking in all situations possible, my game is just falling into into the right place. Wasn't something that I had to build one specific game and then move to another one. It's like everything's kind of falling at the same time, and that is why I'm like progressing so quickly lately. Of course, like there's other aspects, but skill-wise, I think that was the most important thing.
All right. Well, you guys want to just go ahead and jump right into it? I think we're going to watch about 2 hours of the 2022 ADCC World Championship. So not the whole event. Overall, how many hours total is the event, Corey? Do you remember?
It was something like 12 hours in
Yeah.
2022.
So tons of incredible jiu-jitsu. A lot of it at this point is on our YouTube channel. It's on FloGrappling.com. So go catch up on all of the 2022 ADCC Worlds. But let's go ahead and jump into this, and we'll just kind of talk a little bit as we watch.
Yeah, I think we're kind of starting in the middle of the stream here.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the middle of the video. Yeah,
There we go.
There we go. So this is kind of one of the very first matches. I feel like we all remember.
This is the first match of the event, right?
Not the
much.
first. It was like one of the first matches. It was the first match that kind of like blew up the crowd. Like it was like the crowd was so tense and like ready to see something incredible. And this was the match that kind of popped off. Maybe we should mute the audio for the match footage though, because they're doing commentary, and I don't think we should talk over their commentary as well. So that might be a good idea.
Which you think is more impressive, Trey? The rash guard and the hair, or the armbar?
I mean, maybe the rash guard and the hair, honestly.
It's a nice combo. I like it.
Yes, turn off the audio for the wrestling match, please.
What do you remember about this one, Kenny? Were you watching this one?
I was. I definitely remember the oohs and ahs on the finish, but I remember just seeing Rita and seeing how damn big he was. I mean, Cyborg's not a small guy, and
Well, the armor bar wasn't impressive, right?
yeah.
There, look, we got a 360 from
360
Cyborg.
double.
Here it is.
You can already hear the crowd.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Just an insane moment, dude. Like, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be Heisum on the mat, being the person that kind of caused that eruption. But I know just like filming on the side of it, it was like goosebumps. It was a crazy feeling to hear that many people kind of erupt. It was like the first moment at this Worlds where the crowd just got to fully get behind somebody and just kind of lose their mind. So definitely an unreal moment. You guys, do you remember this moment at all, Meregali? I'm sure you're probably backstage.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't watch it, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to comment. But yeah, who was his second fight?
I think, yeah, Roosevelt.
He lost, and then Gordon fought Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Were there any moments, Nicholas, at ADCC where you're kind of backstage and you just feel the venue erupt while you're sitting backstage and kind of like thinking, oh, what just happened, or something cool must have just happened?
Yes, so sometimes you kind of feel that, but at the same time you have your business to handle. So you're kind of okay. So something's happening out there, but it's not my life, you know. So when personally myself, when I'm competing, I normally don't look around much. So we are listening to the match, right? Yeah.
No, keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mute all of the video. Don't play any audio for the video we're watching, because they're going to do commentary, and if we're supposed to talk over it, then we shouldn't really have the audio playing from that. So
Yeah, this is a good one too.
Yeah, that was a very good one.
Isaac versus Wagner.
Yeah, this was just an incredible match. It kind of went like, it went in both directions, huh?
Like 7 back takes, right? Crazy.
It was just kind of like they could never quite solidify the position.
Yeah, this is wild. Both guys are really solid on the feet, but to go back to the Heisum match, you know, that's kind of the beauty of ADCC with the matches where, again, maybe under a different rule set. I'm not saying this would absolutely be the case, but with Rita, you wonder, you know, if there were no points, you know, because there were no points the first, you know, portion of that match, I think that's what allowed him to kind of be aggressive and go for that armbar straight away. Whereas maybe it was a different rule set. Maybe he'd settle into side control and maybe take his time. But yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. No, that's totally true, because, like, you know, obviously the Eddie Bravo triangle over Hoyler and stuff. There's so many kind of, you know, Craig against Murillo there in 2017. It's like you don't need to win ADCC to come out as like a star. Sometimes you just, you know, you have all the eyes watching you and you perform like, you know, have an incredible submission or something like that. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Even Isaac in this fight has a great fight, and I think really raised his stock by having the match of the tournament at ADCC.
Yeah, true. He didn't even come out the winner, right? And
I think that was the most exciting match of ADCC, right? So
think it won. It definitely
Won like
won.
right?
match of the
Oh,
tournament.
yeah.
or-
I would argue that you versus Ty was maybe the most exciting match. I don't know.
Yeah.
Embarrassed, bro.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd be embarrassed by that one, but
I am.
That match is coming up later.
Okay.
I feel embarrassed when we do jiu-jitsu but don't do jiu-jitsu. You know, like we're just like scrambling around, like creating movement, but like where's the control about this thing?
Yeah.
Who you're opinion, you know?
Wagner this year dropping down to 77. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think he has, bro. I fought him. His stuff.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's right. You just got finished.
Yeah. I know. Probably everybody watched the match, but kind of did a good job. But he's a hard guy to fight against.
Sure.
Yeah.
His son Achilles now taking his spot of the 88 division. So having Achilles in at 88 is going to be an interesting little change here.
Yeah, 3 Rochas.
Got the whole family.
Yep.
Achilles is doing ADCC.
Yeah,
just
he just got announced today.
Yep.
That's cool.
So it'll be Jasmine,
Is he
Achilles,
18?
and
Is-
Wagner. What
Is
you
he
say, Kenny?
18?
I think.
How old
that-
is he?
If
18
that,
years
he
old?
might
Yeah,
be 17.
17,
Yeah.
18. Like he's young.
Yeah.
He's young. He had
That's
some really exciting matches at the West Coast trials and stuff like that. You
And
know.
he had insane matches at South American trials too. Like Achilles Rocha is like, no matter what, that kid is going to have an exciting match. Whether he wins or lose, I don't know. It's like he doesn't really feel like he has the experience to always come out on top of those crazy matches and stuff, but he always has insane matches.
Holds number 1 as well, right? He has like 3 or 4 victories, right?
Yeah, he just fought Cameron Couch and I think set the record for the fastest armbar ever.
Yeah,
Right?
17 seconds, maybe
Someone I
16
fought, I
seconds.
remember that.
Yeah, and then you fought his dad. You were yelling at Achilles during the match.
Someone had to stop that family, bro.
Yeah. I can't let him get too powerful. You're right.
And it was kind of funny, like nothing personal, because I don't know who they are. You know, like I know we had the beef on the press conference, but that is the way we make this business. But I remember I was like fighting Wagner, and like the family was kind of like motivating him, which was kind of cool. Like if I had my family doing jiu-jitsu supporting me, I would be like, "Fuck, I want this," you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was listening. I was like self-talk, and was like, "Bro, like shut the fuck up. Like it's not gonna happen."
So you're
The family is
simultaneously,
not gonna be completely happy
Yeah.
tonight, you know.
simultaneously thinking, "Wow, that's a really cool thing they have going,"
Yeah.
while also being like, "But I have to be the ones to destroy
You
their
know?
dreams."
Yeah.
Kenny, you're part of a martial arts family. What's it like being in a family where you kind of all train together, all work together?
Oh man, I'll say this: I don't think there's anything more competitive than 2 brothers going at it, you know, or 2 family members, I guess, for that matter. I'm sure it's a much different dynamic with father son, but having brothers, I mean, you're trying to be the best every single day, and you're going hard as hell. You don't want to be the brother that's not as good as the other one. And in that process, you just push each other to get better and better and better. But I mean, having a father-son dynamic, it's probably similar in some ways, especially one that is continuing to compete and stay elite like Wagner. But I think it's even better because Wagner has been around the block, man, from mixed martial arts to jiu-jitsu to obviously competing at the highest levels. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of wisdom that Achilles can gain. And in that process, moves through the ranks and becomes a lot better in a much faster time.
Achilles probably just living for the day he can beat his dad,
Yeah.
whoop his dad. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he can still, but
you
one
know,
day.
yeah, I don't think so yet.
One day for sure.
One day, right?
Yeah, that's got to put a serious chip on your shoulder, whenever you just like, "No, Dad, come on, let's do a hard round." And it's like, "Oh, okay, Dad can still beat me up. Dang
Yeah,
it.
and then-
Got all this gray hair, doesn't really matter. Still mean as could be." I'm sure he's so mean when he rolls with Achilles too. But
Yeah.
Wagner doesn't like play nice with his kids. All right, Meregali. So we're checking the comments as well. We want the fans to be a part of this watch party also. So we are seeing you guys' comments. We're seeing your comments, Kevin Cherry, whether they're nice or mean. We see all of them. And Constable Kohler said that you should scoot your mic a little closer to your mouth. He said he wants to hear those loud, crispy Meregali vocals, and he said it's a little quiet.
I'll do a better job, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so we're reading the comments. So don't say anything too mean, or I'll punch my laptop. I don't know. I'll freak out. But
You're gonna get used to it. Relax.
yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty used to it at this point. I don't go on Reddit though. Reddit's like, that's too far. But
So this was a crazy jiu-jitsu tournament, though, huh?
This was a crazy tournament. Nicholas, question for you. Obviously, during the tournament, you're worried about competing in the tournament and doing your thing. How many matches do you think you've watched from the last ADCC? Have you seen the whole tournament or
no,
just little parts?
I mean, I watched Gordon's final, Giancarlo's final. I think that's it.
Really?
Yeah, because we were in the backstage. We had this, like, as Gordon was making the super fight, we had the private room. And we ended up staying there. I mean, I watched the match on the TV, but I didn't sit on the crowd and watch the full fight. At the same time I was watching, I wasn't watching. Like, when I'm competing, I'm like like, I'm not even looking around. I'm just like so happy with myself, and I'm just like thinking about my things and talking to my friends that I don't even pay attention about what's going on, like outside of my business, you know?
For sure.
But
That's why I
since
didn't
then,
watch
have
it.
you gone back and watched?
No, for sure. I watch all, right now. I watch all the fights, but at the day of the event, I didn't.
Gotcha.
That's
That
what
was
I'm saying.
what I.
That was a question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like since then, you've gone back.
No, I watched almost every fight.
Really?
Like, mainly from the guys I'm gonna fight against, but also guys that I could potentially fight on the open way. Like, okay, so this guy, he's small, he's probably jumping in, so I need to be ready and at least understand what he does. You know?
This was such a crazy exchange here. Wagner had Isaac's back, and then Isaac turned the tables entirely and took his back there at the end.
Yeah, he went for that Kimura trap, which Wagner's super good at.
Yeah, Wagner does a good job defending back. He's always like heisting up, bringing hips high, and then finding ways to get up on the feet. So it's pretty hard to maintain him in back control. Like, he had a good match against Gordon, defending the back in the same way. And also when we fought, he was doing a good job misaligning the shoulders and the hips following. So it was hard for me to maintain the back position and work on the strangles. That wasn't my goal, but still, he was doing a good job. He's pretty good in defensive skills from back. Other positions, I'm not sure because I didn't watch it. But as you guys can see, he's always like coming up. And grappling is kind of hard because it's so slippery. And at this point, like, how many minutes we have in this match? Like 6, 7, 8, whatever. Yeah, they're probably very, very slippery and sweat. So any like little friction is not enough to hold. Like, you should definitely have some really, really solid lock up to be able to hold people.
Would you ever go shirtless for an ADCC match?
Man, to be honest, my shape is not that great.
Fair enough.
I have a beautiful face, but my body's not that good. No, I like rash guard. I think it's kind of it's healthy and clean. It's cleaner for sure.
Yeah. What do you think about Isaac's back takes here?
Well, so at this point, people when they misdirect shoulders like Wagner is doing, and following the next step would be misalign the hips. The best thing wouldn't be seat belt, and this is a mistake that a lot of people do. Chest lock in the first seconds of a back take is more important than seat belt. Seat belt is still not controlling shoulders and you're still not controlling the hips. So you should first lock with chest lock and then build up some connection to the hips, a body triangle and etc. And then afterwards you can start working the seat belts and hand fighting and then work to trap arms and get strangles. But mainly people when they are because we came from the gi, grappling came from the gi, and then we have this idea of, okay, I'm gonna do seat belt and control people, because we used to watch Marcelo Garcia doing seat belt against everybody, but it doesn't work very well nowadays because everybody knows how to backscape, and the priority when you take the back is first keep the connection chest to back, getting chest locks, following to hooks, so body triangle would be ideal, and then afterwards you can unlock your upper body, chest to back connection, then start working in triangles. So people, they jump steps, like they forget, or they're just rushing, or they don't know what's going on. And I think the third option is the option.
Gotcha.
Incredible.
Mikey Pabua wants to know if we're ever going to see you use leg locks in ADCC.
That is a secret, buddy. To be honest, somehow I started learning leg locks. I hate leg locks, to be honest. Like, I have some, not hate. I'm Brazilian, and Brazilians, they hate leg lock game, you know. And then I think I have this like internal it's this belief that leg lock's not what I should be doing. But lately I've been hitting a lot of heel hooks in the training room.
Wow.
So maybe if I feel like finish the first match like that, I will. Would be funny, right?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
What do you think? Should I do that?
Let's ask the chat. If you're in the chat and you want to see Meregali finish his first match at ADCC with a leg lock, let us know.
I think it would be funny. Actually, I bet with Gordon that I would finish my first 2 matches
Yeah.
in heel hooks when I was finishing people at Roca, but I don't know. I'll see.
There you go. I guess wait and find out if Meregali's gonna.
Gordon. John kind of shut me off. I was like making fun, and John like, bro, just go there and do your job. Open weight, you can do your thing. And I was like, John, I want to make ADCC interesting for me. And it's kind of boring at this point.
I was gonna say Kenny's been in the game for a long time. Do you have any like funny old leg lock stories? What it was like
Oh my
training
gosh.
those type of things back in the day?
Yeah, well, I mean, back in the day, it was kind of scoffed at if you went for footlocks and, heel hooks and things like that. Knee bars, maybe not so much, but footlocks in particular, that were definitely one of those things. Like, oh no, you got to learn how to pass the guard. Like everyone would get pissed if you went for a footlock. So of course I would go for footlocks and stuff. But yeah, man, it's the game has changed significantly, and it's great to see it. Always great to see. The submission game elevated, but now I feel like it's kind of canceled itself out. Like I kind of figured it would. Now everyone, because the footlock and heel hook game was so popular, I feel like a lot of people are kind of have adjusted their game significantly to combat it, either with counters of like countering with footlocks of their own, or just proper escaping techniques.
Yeah.
You see something, Meregali? Look like you're about to point something out.
Yeah, so no, I just pointed to the match because Wagner, he was doing a good job with chest lock, controlling Isaac, and then when he switched to seatbelt, he lost the ability to play with hooks, and Isaac was able to escape. That was a clear example about what I was giving. Once you get chest to back, you chest lock first, and you create connection, and afterwards you work on hooks, and once you have hooks and connection to the hips, you work on seatbelt. Wagner, he made the mistake, I just call out.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
Nicholas, is it accurate? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
And Nicholas, I was going to say, is it accurate to say that, for ADCC or the preparation for ADCC, that stand-up grappling is a much bigger component for this than, say, any other tournament? And I guess I'm curious as to what kind of percentage of your training now is dedicated to just stand-up wrestling or takedowns.
I can agree with that. I think it's not only for ADCC. I think it's more for grappling. Grappling is a sport where demands stand-up game and top position mainly. Like we barely see people playing bottom these days because as there's no friction, there's no jacket, there's no pants, there's nothing to grab. It's pretty hard to fight against someone who is very high skilled bottom to top. Right, so that is why stand-up game is one of the priorities, and that is what we see the most at ADCC. People, they are fighting for their lives to get top position because grappling is mainly like that. In the gi, we have a different situation where when we were watching mats, I know that big guys, and we used to watch, let's give example, Roger Gracie and Buchecha, when they fought, they had like 6 minutes on the feet trying to exchange grips. They were also fighting to get top position. But mainly what we see in the gi, we see people are pulling guard or exchanging grip, fighting a little bit and pulling guard afterwards. It's not like mats where when we see like 10 minutes athletes hand fighting, collar tie, shooting double legs. Because in the gi is not that effective as in grappling. We don't have so many side effects by pulling guard in the gi, but grappling is definitely one of the main points to maintain top position, because as we are using gravity instead of grips to be effective in grappling, we need to take advantage from top position instead of bottom. That is why the first stage is have a good wrestling, scrimmage wrestling, and then second, build up top position.
Are there any athletes you can think of whose guard is so good that they don't really need to think about wrestling? That people who have guards that are good enough where they can still play guard, make connections, not worry about standing at all?
It's possible. Pato is doing a good job. I know his wrestling is good, but he has been doing a good job, like Who's Number One events and other super fights, pulling guard, which is a great strategy. But we are talking about different rule set. You gotta wrestle people at ADCC. You have no option. Like I can give an example that I had in my last performance. So I pulled guard twice in the final. It was a huge mistake, and I got penalized with 2 points.
Against Yuri?
Yeah, against Yuri, and Yuri didn't make one single move on me. I also, I actually hit one sweep on him, but still, as I didn't wrestle him, I lost the match, and was a mistake because wrestling is also as important as submissions in grappling. Because when we see people fighting, I know we think grappling is what Gordon Ryan does, and it actually is, but people mostly don't replicate what Gordon does. Like this match, we have a lot of scrimmage and a lot of movement, but no submissions. They are fighting for top position. They are on the ground fighting for top position, creating scrimmage, and no one is playing bottom. So it's not because they are 88 kilos, but also if you go to Diogo Reis' performance at last ADCC, he's mainly playing top position. Wrestling, playing top position, disengaging, engaging. He's refusing to play bottom. And we can go over all the divisions. You're going to see the same answer.
There we go. Time on this match.
So,
Crazy one.
Kenny, anything else you wanted to ask Meregali here?
Yeah, so I guess I'm curious. What do you think is the most powerful position then in jiu-jitsu? You know, it's basically between taking the back, a back mount, or top mount. What's your opinion on that and why?
I think it's pretty much what we have been developing in our team. That this is John's philosophy, of course, and what Gordon does so well in super fights, and he's gonna do at ADCC next time. And he did a very good job, of course, against André Galvão, ADCC 2022. Half guard, chest to chest, mount, chest to chest connection, and chest to back. Chest to back normally happens not from a situation where you go straight to the back, but when you build up into the back take. And that is what Gordon does so well. If you guys watch Gordon's matches, he's always playing a game where he's half guard to mount, where he uses gravity and positioning skills to tidying up the opponent. And he plays a game where he's always backtracking and moving forward, backtracking and moving forward. So he controls the opponent for as long as he can, and afterwards he mainly, if you guys check numbers at BJJ Heroes, Gordon mainly taps people from back because he first building up to there. So I think the main three positions in Jiu-Jitsu is half guard. Like if you are looking to be effective getting submissions, half guard, grappling, let's use grappling, Nogi. Half guard, mount, chest to chest, and chest to back, back takes. Those three scenarios are the strongest.
And you're
ones.
saying that because of the amount of control you have from half guard, right?
Yes,
tightness.
It's not only control, of course, because the control is what we are looking for, but I think it's more about how effortless those positions can be in order to build success. Like if you're half guard very well placed, you're gonna tire up your opponent. If you're a mount, you're not fighting the legs, you're controlling the core, you just have the arms. Who is strong? Bottom mount, nobody. Like you can build up the pace. You can. That was wild. Bro. Look at my wrestling. How stupid I was. Jesus Christ. You know, so that's why those three positions are the strongest ones. And Gordon has been dominating everybody in the last 5 years because that is his main. Not 5, 7 years, right? Yeah, 2017. That is his main game.
So this match we got now, Henrique Sacconi versus Nicholas Meregali. This is Meregali's ADCC debut. What are you thinking in this one, Meregali? Do you have are you thinking about the moment at all? Are you thinking about this being your first time on ADCC, or are you just kind of in the zone going after this?
No, it was very scary, to be honest. I mean, I'm confident enough to face my fears and to perform no matter which circumstance I have, injured, fear, personal problems. I just go there and do my job because I've been training my entire life for that. But at the same time, I can remember right now how scared I was because I knew I wasn't ready. At the same time, I have this illusional mind that is always placing me in good spots and making me feel safe mentally. I'm also smart enough to understand where I am, and that's why I keep progressing jiu-jitsu. I'm still developing skills because I'm always judging in the most humble way possible. And I knew, even not sharing to anybody, I knew at that point I wasn't ready to win. I was ready to compete, but not ready to win. Win would be a different thing. Like I feel more than ready to win right now. I know if I was competing ADCC tomorrow, I would win. This afternoon, I can just live here and beat people because I have the skills for. But at that time, the first ADCC, I was more using my mental toughness, and this ability that I developed throughout the years of competing and beating people, and was pretty much that. But skill-wise, my stance is terrible, hand fighting is terrible, top game is terrible, bottom game I played as well was so bad. Like I didn't have many answers, you know, and it was more like my mental strength that was guiding me into the finals. So one final, sorry, the open weight final.
Was it a I guess more scary moment when you did get thrown kind of early? Was that like kind of like the wake up, like, oh shit, okay, I'm in this now, like I got to get going?
Yeah, it was kind of like move bitch, you know. It's kind of that. But I mean, I got the sub later on the match, but still, I wasn't happy at all. I was never satisfied with this performance, and that is why when I talk shit about myself, like I hate my last ADCC performance, it's because I genuinely hate. Like I don't like it at all. Like I didn't perform in the way I want to perform. Like for me, jiu-jitsu is what I've been doing on the mats lately in super fights. Like, okay, I'm gonna go there, control hand fighting, control inside position, take people down, build up, half guard, mount, back take, finish, and go home. Not breaking sweat, but breathing well, you know? Like, look at the back take. I'm playing seatbelt. Like, I'm making the mistakes I just said is a mistake. I was making. Now I don't make anymore.
So we're going to see a whole different Meregali at ADCC 2024.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I proved to people when people, like, everybody has opinion about anything, and this is the world we live in. Everybody has rights to have opinion. But at this point, if someone has an opinion too far away from reality when jiu-jitsu is the topic, I kind of just accept, yes, buddy, you're right. I don't even complain anymore because, like, the way I've been beating my opponents the last 16 or 17, I gotta make sure. Matches I had against IBJJF World Champions, ADCC World Champions, and I controlled them from the first minute to the last, getting submissions, wasn't a luck move, wasn't a fly armbar, wasn't a fly triangle, was literally, okay, I'm holding people, deciding what I'm gonna do, playing smart, getting submissions, and going home. Look at this, how, bro, I get kind of angry actually. And one thing was pretty bad for this ADCC, and because I came from the gi and I was doing grappling, no experience at all, 5 months. To not say 100%, but 90% of the people I fought, they were so dirty. They were trying to break me mentally, doing dirty things like headbutting me, like breaking fingers, kicking me. Like, bro, I'm way tougher than you mentally. Like, do not do this shit. I'm gonna beat you. That was what I had in my mind. But they're playing this dirty game, you know. And I think that is what I hate. I hate the most about my last ADCC experience, because they're trying to be tough and they're not tough. They're just average.
Kenny, we got Alex Windling in the chat. She says she wants more Kenny Florian content on Flow. We're gonna see more of Kenny Florian on Flow or what?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Are you a Kimura guy, Kenny?
Nicholas Meregali.
My Kimura guy, kind of, sort of. I'm not as good as Nicholas there, but
what is your main move, Kenny? Your main submission?
Taking the back rear naked choke. I like that one.
Grappling, you arm trap,
Basic.
or you go straight rear naked choke?
Both. I like both. I guess back in the day, I was more kind of going straight to the rear naked choke, but now I do a little bit more trapping. It's not as easy these days. So yeah, you kind of have to go bit by bit, and I definitely like the arm trapping.
That's cool.
Don't blink on this one.
Yeah.
Here's a
it's
quick one.
fast one.
Kenny, I believe you still have the UFC record for most rear naked choke finishes with 7. Which is
Yeah.
fun.
That's a sick.
Good
record
stat.
to have.
That's a good
Yeah,
stat
that's
there.
awesome.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's pretty sick.
How different is grappling on like the UFC stage versus on a jiu-jitsu stage, Kenny? Is it a big difference?
Now it's so much different. Back in the day, it was that was it. That was the heel hooks
Yeah.
finish. Wow.
11 seconds.
Yeah,
I know.
it's totally different, man. Grappling specifically the guys that are professionals at it are so much better these days, in my opinion, than was back in the day. It was way more basic. And I feel like, you get guys like Mika, the Rotolo brothers. Now I feel like we're at a point now where we can have some really high level jiu-jitsu guys go in MMA and kind of mess things up a little bit and kind of turn the tide back over to the submission game. Just because I think we've really elevated a tremendous amount over the last 5 to 10 years. So I hope that's the case. I think the younger generation coming up now is going to be totally different, similar to how the wrestlers have dominated in MMA for a long time.
And what about Meregali talking about half guard there? I feel like half guard's a big kind of
Yeah, Khabib was a great example about
people
what
talk
you're
about
talking
it
Yes.
in MMA a lot, right? Do you agree with kind of Meregali's statements there on half guard and chest to chest and everything like that?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference. Not everybody. I mean, I think the current crop right now, you have your certain elite guys. You have the Damian Mayas, you have the Ryan Halls, you have those guys. But I still feel like we haven't seen the younger generation come up. But no question. I mean, so many fights are won and lost in half guard. In MMA, it's one of the most critical positions for sure, as it is in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah, because half guard for
especially
MMA,
with punching involved, right?
yeah, half guard for MMA. Once you have half guard, you can avoid heisting, and because in MMA you can throw a punch and pop up, like everybody's like like not spazzy, but like so like energetic, and you're throwing punches, and when your opponent like you cannot like lose a second. And once you have half guard, and that is why Khabib, he overcame everybody, and he was doing so well for so many years. His half guard control was literally insane. Like he was shutting people down, throwing punches, not high effective punches, but just like building up the victory. And it's pretty much what Gordon does in grappling. Like he sits inside half guard. You're not gonna stand up. You're not gonna find and sweep. You're not gonna tight waist. I'm just gonna burn you here and then progress until find submissions. It's the same idea. You control the hips to build the pace.
So this is obviously a crazy match we're watching now. Miguel Alves, Dante Leon. Two dudes who going into this year's ADCC could very well be considered favorites for the 77
Yeah,
kilogram
it might be
division.
the 1 and 2 seed going into ADCC this year, right?
sure.
Is that where you guys had them?
I think I had JT as the 2 seed.
JT has title, right?
1-2 out of the last 3 tournaments. You're gonna have to still consider him.
Where
pretty up there.
Wagner goes in this bracket?
I had him high.
It might be 3 or 4.
6 or 7.
Because he has
maybe.
3 ADCC medals, I think.
A couple bronze, in a silver.
I think Wagner will upset a lot of people in 7-7.
It's
Really?
hard
I
to
had
score.
Wagner as the 5 facing off with like PJ in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, because guys from 7-7, we don't have guys who slow the pace. We have guys that create movement in order to score points, and score points not in a way where they're pinning people and scoring. They are moving, finding opportunities to take the back, jump into a mount position or side control. And Wagner has a completely different style. He moves a lot, but he negates a lot. As he's negating movement, those guys from 7-7 they're gonna have problems to score him for sure. And wrestling, Wagner I think has same skill or even higher than those guys from 7-7. Like I can see him beating Dante, Mika, JT. I can see Wagner doing that.
Wow.
Nicholas, do you have an opinion on this kid Dorian?
He's training with us. He's super nice. He doesn't talk much, but he's a very nice guy.
Man, I've been hearing some crazy stuff about his skill level and how prepared he is. Sounds like he's going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, he's very athletic, like very, very athletic, and he's going 6'6". He's short, and he's bringing an ability that he probably learned from wrestling and making this transition to grappling, where he engages, not engaging. He's always like touching your body but backing out, touching your body and backing out. So he's Division 1, right? So I don't think we have anybody at Division 6-6 that could be able to take him down. So people would be forced to pull guard or strategically hold the leg and pull guard later. And play bottom against him is going to be a problem because he has the skills to avoid guys to get into his legs and wrestle up. And so he's a problem for sure for 6-6.
Outside of Dorian, who do you think in 66 like currently has the best wrestling or ability to be on top and maintain top? Is probably like Diogo, I would say maybe.
Yeah. Diogo does a good job.
Souza.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think Pato is good. Is going to win this year.
You think so? You think it's the year of the duck will continue?
Yeah. Yeah. He's doing amazing, man. He's like winning everything possible, beating people, tapping people. But
He's so
Diogo
good.
has a good wrestling. Yeah. Pato is really good.
Yeah. What do you think of Pato, Kenny?
Man, he's got an awesome game. He's just good everywhere. And obviously going out there training with the Mendez brothers, he's just going to be that much sharper. So there's just not a whole lot of weaknesses in his game. I guess if there's a weakness or a place he needs to be careful would probably be on the feet. But then in order to beat him, it's almost like you need to not engage with him. And I just don't see that happening for a long period of time. His attacks, he knows how to get underneath you. He knows how to stay on. When he has you in trouble, he'll take you out. He'll finish what he's doing. And yeah, I feel like it's just coming together for him at the right time. And now that he has all this experience, he's definitely be one to watch. But Diogo's a beast too, man.
For sure, especially on the ADCC stage. I feel like Diogo kind of rises up to that. Those guys obviously take the ADCC camp and everything so serious with Mika and Diogo and now Kawhi Gabriel in their camp also going to be in the 66 kilo division. But you're right. Pato's one of those dudes that I just feel like too, Pato's just kind of like a badass, It's like you look at him, he's stone cold. It's like, damn, bro, this dude, like, he wants to go in there and just like break somebody's leg and go home. And, and that's that,
He had that really great submission against Kennedy Maciel in 2022, the Z-Lock.
Only Z-Lock in ADCC history.
That was a brutal one.
Nasty.
I think it kind of did injure Kennedy, right, if I'm not
Put
mistaken.
him out for a year.
Yeah.
There aren't many athletes who can compete at a world championship level in the gi, win multiple titles like Nicholas, like Pato, like
it's
Mika
different
potentially,
level.
and then also take podium at ADCC.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about Mika. Mika has the chance to do something very rare if he wins ADCC. He will be the Super Grand Slam winner, which is all 4 majors plus ADCC. It's only ever been done by Cobrinha in 2017. So this would be a pretty crazy accomplishment for Mika.
Euros, Pans, Brasileiros, and Worlds plus ADCC.
Hey, Nicholas, is
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask Nicholas, has Gary Tonin been around? Is he healthy? Has he been
he's
prepping
healthy.
hard for ADCC?
Yeah. His camp started kind of later than us because he didn't. I think his invitation was like 10 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, right? Was after. Yeah, like, but he's always in shape. Like he trains MMA every day, once a day, and trains jiu-jitsu every day as well with us. Like he does his MMA practice midday, 1 p.m., and then he jumps into our jiu-jitsu session. So he's in shape and he's healthy. And this time he's not cutting for 6'6". Last time he was cutting 6'6", and it was kind of sad to watch.
He looked rough, man.
Yeah. Bro,
That's
sad.
rough, man. Yeah, that's a bad
Kenny
one.
knows.
And right now, we have like this. We're just weightings once, right?
You said what?
We are just doing the making the weightings once, right? Just Friday.
Yeah, now they just changed the
so.
way.
Yeah, just the day before. So at this circumstance, Gary probably would be able to make 6'6", cut water suffer, and then hydrate and fine. But I don't know why he chose compete 7'7". Probably that's his division actually. Gary's kind of he's a tall dude. He's not small,
For sure.
That'd be
Kenny,
fun. Always fun to watch
we've been
Gary.
seeing Gary compete at ADCC for a long time, right? I think his first ADCC was 2013.
11, no?
20,
China? Something like that.
I think 2013 is
13.
China.
Yeah,
China.
but a long time, right? And he's had matches with some of the greats. Are there any up and coming athletes, some of the 2024 athletes you want to see Gary in a match with?
I would like to watch Gary versus Wagner, to see how Wagner defend the legs. To be honest,
That was the bronze medal match in 2017.
how that play out.
Wagner won.
I
But
also believe they faced off in 2019 in the semifinal.
Is Wagner going to fight everybody in the New Wave camp at one point?
He's probably gonna fight John's son.
Yeah.
I think they are same age, no?
John and
And
Wagner?
Wagner, yeah.
I don't think it's not quite, but
it's a
Oh, man.
little different.
oh, Wagner's gonna hear that clip. He's gonna have some words for you, Meregali. But yeah, but Kenny, what do you think? Anybody newcomers you'd like to see in a matchup with Gary, or I guess just anyone you got your eye on for this year's World Championship?
We also have Taza 7-7.
Yeah. Gosh.
I can't hear him.
Oh, we might have lost Kenny's audio.
Can you hear me, guys? Check. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello, hello.
I lost you. I don't know if the fans can hear you. Can hear you now. Yeah, they're trying to get you back, Kenny.
Sorry about that, Kenny. Looks like we lost you for a second.
Sorry, yeah.
No worries. Can you hear me now?
Gotcha.
There we go. There we go. I mean, there's a ton. I mean, the 77 kilogram division's insane. PJ Barch is a guy that it kind of is always fun to watch. Him and Gary would be really fun to exchange transitions. That would be fun. Obviously has that rivalry with JT Torres. I mean,
These
I don't
are
know,
two
man.
guys
As
who I
far
both
as
feel
guys
like
that
very well.
I would like to see Gary Mateusz Szczecinski. I don't know. Have we seen that before?
Yeah.
Anywhere? But Mateusz Szczecinski's a guy for me that I kind of like the boogeyman aspect he brings. Where everyone talks about like this crazy straight ankle he has. We've seen him like kind of dominate dudes with it. Everyone's kind of scared of it. But a guy like Gary just creates so much movement, so much scrambles and stuff. It's like, let's see if Mateusz can kind of like track him down, get in on a leg, and how Gary would counter that and how that would play out. So I think that'd be a cool one. Mika Gary,
Definitely.
obviously unreal. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Dante Gary, I don't know. They're all sick. Gary,
ADCC is just better with Gary Tonin for sure. It's like he's been there for so long. I feel like he's on everybody's radar at some point for the Kron Gracie matches or whatever. He's such a storied history in ADCC. But yeah, Mika's the one. That would be sick, to be honest. I'd love to see Gary versus Mika.
for sure.
We talked about
the escape artist against the submission artist.
Yeah.
Sure. We talked about Achilles as one of those like never a boring match kind of guys. Gary's another one of those never boring match kind of guys.
1,000%. Gary invented never boring match.
Definitely.
Mr. Too Damn Exciting Match.
Yeah. From 2022, Kenny, when you kind of like look back on the tournament, it was a wild one. But like, what sticks out most to you, just kind of about this tournament?
Gosh, I mean, I love the Cade and Mika final.
That was crazy.
In particular. Those are two guys that people have been talking about for a very long time, and to have guys that have been that dominant since they were little kids, and to finally kind of fulfill that promise, and it was kind of like, all right, whoever emerges from this is going to be not just a star but a superstar. They're already kind of established themselves as stars, and you see kind of the momentum that has been built up, really for both Ruotolo brothers, but especially for Cade, who broke out on the scene, not only by beating Mika, but countering him with one of the sickest heel hook counters of all time. I mean, that was unbelievable, that kind of belly down heel hook that he hit kind of out of nowhere. And you don't see Mika get surprised like that very often. And I also think in that process, it took Mika to a whole different level as well. So, yeah.
100%. I think the Ruotolos and Mika are just making each other better and better. The more they meet, the more
so young.
Yeah, they hit. They kind of always know the other one's kind of looming. Like obviously this year the Ruotolos won't face Mika, but like I'm sure they're still thinking about each other a little bit. Like if Mika ends up winning this year, Cade's gonna be like, all right, well, I'm the champ, bro. So that'll hit somewhere, and just that'll be a rivalry that'll live on for a long time.
Cade nearly entered Gi Worlds this year.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Meregali's got a little bit of a rivalry too with Mika, huh?
Is this a match a match we could see in the absolute division?
Absolute?
You think, Meregali?
I'm gonna be there.
Meregali will be there. There you go.
I'll be there for my gold, and whoever crossed my path is just gonna be a loser, being part of my show.
Where's that confidence come from, Meregali?
From training, from results, and from becoming one of the greatest of all time. Simple as that. What I've been doing. Please name five other athletes that did what I've been doing on the mats. You're gonna say Roger Gracie, you're gonna say Gordon Ryan. Marcelo Garcia did similar. Like
Nicholas,
having
who's the guy
80%.
you think?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to ask you who you think is going to be your toughest matchup, or who could potentially be your toughest matchup in the
I
division.
think Kaina
Who's
is
the
coming
guy that
very
you think
prepared
got
for
prepared?
sure. Kinda.
Yeah.
Like I know he's coming from a few losses since he lost. I think we fought in August. He lost, of course, and he fought the GP. He won, and then I think he got 2 or 3 losses afterwards. Right? He's kind of inconsistent, but he always rise in events where the rule set requires points, and he knows how to perform in big stages. So I'm pretty confident he's coming very prepared. And my mind like is telling me that he's gonna be a different kind that I faced in August last year. Because August last year, he was still not believing that I would reach the level I had. Like he was okay, so I'm better than Nicholas in grappling. So probably he didn't train enough. Probably he underestimated me a little bit. But right now he knows what type of problem he has, and he's a great athlete. Like he has titles, gi, no gi. He has been in the scene, winning everything since forever. So I think he's coming to be a problem for me in my division, and also make the final on the open weight. That is what I believe.
Do you think Kainen's one of those guys that just performs better in tournaments? Maybe has a little harder time getting going in super fights, but when he has a tournament that he can
I
ramp
think
on?
so. Yeah, he warms up during the event. His first performance ever is just like shit. Like he fought Elton Cruz last year, right? Elder Cruz. And was a match that was like he won, but wasn't something like very consistent. And then he fought Craig Jones in the final, and he just passed Craig Jones' guard like 7 times. Like he builds up on the event. He's very solid.
That last match, we kind of saw one of the probably most controversial things: the Dante getting the points taken back off. You ever been in a situation like that? You were kind of telling us earlier back in your purple belt days.
Yeah, I had the situation purple belt when I used to compete World Pro Abu Dhabi, and it was back 2015. I won the match, but they scored the points wrongly to my opponent. So my opponent got swept twice or something like that, and then they scored the points to my opponent. So everybody saw it was a mistake because I swept him twice, and then they gave to him the victory. So the guy was celebrating for his life. He left, and I was like, bro, like I swept you twice. Like it's wrong.
crazy.
And then he just left. The referees they didn't change their minds, and I lost a match. And I was like so fucking upset. That time I was broke as hell, and Abu Dhabi was paying like $10,000 back in the days for a purple belt, like world champ, whatever, and would not change my life, but would give me, you know,
Would help.
Yeah,
it would help.
Definitely helps.
And I was like, fuck, bro, it was such a nightmare. Because it wasn't my fault. It was people's fault. That is the worst
Out of
type
your
of
control.
thing. Yeah, you know.
So now you got Lovato.
Terrible match as well. I think I pulled guard and play open. Yeah, supine guard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the entire fight.
And this is the 3rd place match, right?
Yeah.
So this was a rematch. You fought Lovato, and what was it, like your 3rd no-gi match ever, right? How much different was this match from your Who's Number 1 match against Lovato?
Sorry? I was focused watching the fight.
How much different was this match from your first match with Lovato, Who's Number 1?
Yeah, the result was different. Like I wasn't able to get top position. Of course, I pulled guard, I guess, and my decision was kind of wrong. Like my wrestling wasn't good at the time, and I probably chose pulled guard because I didn't feel comfortable playing on the feet. Lovato was strong, by the way. He's a strong dude. He's coming again. We probably, when you guys made the brackets, you guys gave me Lovato semifinal. So it would be a nice match to have after 2 years to see how much I progress. You know?
How much how much stock do you hold in something like a WNO match with someone that you're gonna potentially fight at ADCC, like Kainen, for example? Obviously, you submitted Kainen WNO rules. You kind of like think it's a completely different game, completely different going into ADCC, or do you take into account like what you learned from that WNO match?
Not really, and kind of is even easier to think about that because we have 15 minutes who's number one, and ADCC is 20, and then 10, like 20 minutes regular time and 10 overtime to the finals, for the finals. Sorry. So I can keep the same strategy, build the pace in the same way, and display exactly the same jiu-jitsu. And that is what I'm planning to do. Probably I'm gonna finish him quicker because I don't want to get too tired for the open weight. But yeah, I'm just gonna build up the pace a little faster when I fight him again. Like finish him around 5 to 6 minutes. That is my plan.
Okay. When you watch this Meregali against Lovato here, what do you think of your wrestling here? Is there a lot you would change? What do you kind of focus on?
You would take me down, bro.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
You guys hear that? Somebody clip that, all right?
Give me $100.
What happens after that? No one knows.
Yeah. Well, I think I know. I think I know what happens after that, but no one else will know because I'll cut the video right there.
That's right. You officially retire after
Yeah.
the takedown.
But yeah, is it? Do you like watching yourself at this point?
No.
Like kind of rewatching, seeing how far you've grown, or is it just tough to watch? Do you see yourself making a lot of mistakes?
I mean, it's hard even to judge what I was doing out there. Like I cannot, like when I'm watching my match against Kaina, for example, last year, I have a year of progress, and I had a year after ADCC to progress until I got into Kaina. So I had skills, and now I can judge what I did a year ago. But for this event 2 years ago, like 5 months, half a year training Nogi, I didn't have any skill set. So when I'm watching this, I would just do everything differently. So it's hard for me to analyze the match. It's more like, fuck. I just watch and get set. Literally
Really?
like that. I was like, fuck, so
Wow.
terrible.
Let's cheer you up. You get some popcorn? Did you get some popcorn over
Yeah,
there?
you want
We
some
got
popcorn
here.
Meregali? You have some popcorn
I'm
right
fine.
there.
I'm dieting.
Oh, you're
Trying to
dieting.
get in shape.
Yeah,
True.
trying to get to the point where you can go shirtless in the
Shirtless.
finals.
My
Yeah,
plans go
I
shirtless.
feel that, brother.
It's not coming, bro, but one day, trust me.
Nicholas, we have an interview coming out with Gordon this week. We're putting out different clips from it.
That's cool.
And one of the parts he talks about you and your prospects for ADCC, and he talks about how there are certain elements of your game that he feels like are even exceeding his, including like your outside passing and how impressive that is. And I just want to get your thoughts on that and kind of your reaction to, you always talk about Gordon as the utmost and his technique is on this crazy level. He's starting to put you pretty close to that as well. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I'm paying him under the table, so that's why I'm gonna sell instructionals, No, I'm just kidding. I mean, for me, it's great. Like Gordon, I have him as example since I moved here. He's the guy that I'm like trying to follow what he did and what he has doing, and also John. So they're pretty much, in my mind, they're pretty much the same thing, Gordon and John. So Gordon is just John with physical attributes, basically. And if Gordon is starting to name me in situations, in positions that he understands I'm better than him, it's just a huge reward for me. Like, it's not something that I'm not gonna take the credit, because I worked so hard to reach a level where I'm not on his level, but at the same time I'm coming there, and there's the way, in my opinion, I have to pay both back, Gordon and John. Like, just build up my level into a way where people will start also using myself as example, not only Gordon.
Here's some
when they talk
Meregali
about
leg
new
locking,
wave.
by the way, not to interrupt, but
Pretty bad. Yeah, by the way, too.
Hey, Kenny, ADCC 2024, August 17th, 18th, you're going to be part of a all-star commentary team. I don't think we've made it public yet, but do you want to tell the fans who else is going to be joining you on that team?
Yeah, I absolutely feel honored to be a part of it. Well, of course, we'll have Ricardo Amendolia, Sean Williams. I know, Braulio, Jimmy Smith will be a part of it, I believe, as well. So those are some of the names that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah,
Sean is not
man.
coming?
Sean's going to be, but we got Damian Maia is going to be on as well on the
Damien, that's right.
on the Portuguese side, and then Jay Regalbudo as well.
Stacked crew right there.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Man, Sean Williams, like, I swear, when I listen to Sean Williams do commentary on a match, like watching back WNO matches or whatever, I just feel like I get better at jiu-jitsu just by listening to him talk about it. It's incredible. He's like the Tony Romo of jiu-jitsu commentary. Like, he's saying everything right before it happens. So,
You know,
big
Sean's the
Sean
man.
Williams fan.
you know what I was thinking?
What?
When you said, I just feel I get better at jiu-jitsu, and I was like, damn, how bad it was.
Yeah, pretty bad, Meregali.
You're not going anywhere, buddy. It's pretty bad, okay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I won't be competing at ADCC. But for sure, dude. Or am I just an incredibly fast, good learner? I don't know. Could go either way.
There's also a
Yeah,
possibility.
the progress I'm making is immaculate, to be honest.
The
with
hair
you.
is
Day by
making
day.
progress at least,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I just put it in people's face a little bit.
But that's pretty
Nicholas,
awesome.
is there what would be the dream match for you in the final? You beating who in the open final of
Open
80s?
final. I have two names that I think they have more chance to make into the finals. It's Kaina and Pena. I think those two names, they have more chance to make into the finals. My division, of course, Kaina, no doubt, he's making. But those two names. And also, I believe they are better to the storytelling, because I don't want to make the finals against someone who doesn't have my size or is not on my level or got there because sometimes ADCC, like, people they make into the finals, but they're not on the level. Like, so as we were talking at the beginning, ADCC is such a crazy event. A lot of things happen. Sometimes the number one seed doesn't make into the finals, and some random dude gets the title. So I would rather having someone who has credit and a history on the event to make my final instead of, okay, whoever gets there. You know what I mean? Like, I think for my brand and for my legacy, it's gonna be more worth it.
Every once in a while, a guy from 66 or from 77 will jump into the absolute. Like last year, we had that really cool Fabricio Victor Hugo match. If they give you like a guy from 66 first, is there any match you think would be just like interesting for you as an athlete?
Got to shout out Lachlan Giles.
I mean, for
there.
sure. Yeah, for sure it's going to be interesting. I train with small people all the time at the gym. Like, I don't train crazy anymore. I more like try to develop skills, and go against someone who is way smaller than me is also cool sometimes, not every day. I would just impose my physical attributes basically to shut down the match as quick as possible, because those guys are so small and so tiny. If you give much space, they move so fast, they probably could bring me problems. So I would just like use my size.
Just smother choke.
Even that would be hard. If I mount them, they would just slippery in between my legs.
There has never been in the absolute a 66 has never medaled. And there's a lot of people thinking Pato might have a really good shot this year as the first guy who could potentially medal in the absolute. He's talked about wanting to do it. Seems like he's all in. He's had some good success against bigger people. 2024 could be the year for that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. He has a good guard. I don't think he would be able to wrestle up many big guys, but he for sure would be able to play bottom for 10 minutes straight, 15, even if it goes to overtime. The problem becomes when the overtime starts and he got to wrestle a dude 200 pounds, 120. I know he's still quick because he's a 6'6 kilos, but overtime, if you're way stronger and bigger, it matters. But he has a chance. Like, technically speaking, he's pretty good. We were giving credits to him like 5 minutes ago.
You look disappointed after this third place victory here, Meregali.
Why am I
You
fighting
remember what was going through your mind?
Yeah, that's why I'm fighting to be at third place, bro. Just send me home. Send me home.
And
We're gonna fight for a bronze medal, like, you know.
And then you mentioned Felipe's name, Felipe Pena's name. You know, that's one you guys have a little bit of history. When was the last time you guys fought? Was that 20 like
Yeah,
7?
I have history over him, not the other way around, you know. I'm just joking. We fought twice. We fought in the gi and Ogi. I tapped him twice. I tapped in the gi. When we fought in the gi 2018, I tapped him with Ezekiel.
One of the best gi matches
Of all time.
in
Yeah,
my
I know.
opinion.
That was
Such-
so crazy.
Such a sick match.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And Felipe was kind of like chirping at you, like
Yeah.
he was kind of
Yeah, he was like calling me out.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. It's kind of cool. And then we fought in the Nogi like half year ago, December, and then I tapped him again, and would be 3-0. But still, he's a guy who has a brand. He's a guy who keep beating people around. We are doing the same sport, but in different levels. You know.
He's out there training with Kynan. Did you see that? He's out there in San Diego at Atos training with Kynan.
I saw that.
What do you think?
I don't think anything. At this point, I don't even have Instagram anymore, bro. I just if people don't send me things, I can't see. And then my friends, they don't send me jiu-jitsu. So here and there, we kind of talk at the gym, but I just don't know what's going on in the grappling world. I just don't know at all. And I'm not even posting anymore. I kind of quit.
Yeah.
You know?
Are they kind of secretly trying to kind of concoct the way to beat Nicholas Meregali, you think, at all? Or?
I think I got more mature, and I understood that the level I am right now, every time I perform, people will accept more and more that what I'm doing is different than all the others. So I don't need to talk anymore. I don't need to complain anymore. I don't need to offend people anymore. I know it's part of the business. If I want to sell more a match and make my money from floor or any other industry, I'm going to talk shit about a guy, and then we're going to sell more tickets, pay-per-view, and I'm going to be better paid. This is a very nice deal to make. But at the same time, I'm in a position where I'm making enough money to live a beautiful life. I'm getting more mature. I'm having different plans for my future. And again, my skill, Gordon is the only one that has that skill nowadays. In the history, as I said, I know it can sound cocky, but if you analyze jiu-jitsu, I'm not being delusional saying what I'm saying. So I can just stay home right now, post, of course, because I need to make media, and it's important for the business, but at the same time, I don't need to create drama. I feel by being away from everybody, this is more than a statement. Like ADCC, what am I gonna do at ADCC? People are not ready for that. People think, oh, he's going to win. I'm not going to win. What am I gonna do that? People will talk for the next 10 years, and I know that. So that's why I'm just chilling at home. I'm training hard. I'm doing my diet. I'm completely in peace. I just need to wait for the time to place my hands on people and display what I'm working so hard in the last 2 years to get. So that's why I stopped talking a little bit, and I feel great like that. You know, talking shit here and there for friends, but mostly hanging out, going to have nice dinners with my girlfriend. I was shooting guns with Gordon and Giancarlo this morning. It was kind of cool, and this is life.
Yeah, living the life.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of Giancarlo, Giancarlo was just introduced here by Bruce Buffer. Kenny and Nicholas, you guys have something in common, that you've both been introduced to a fight by Bruce Buffer. What's that experience like? What's it like having Buffer call your name out?
Oh, I felt nothing. Can you believe it? Like you are.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Say,
Go
Kenny.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like what I'm not gonna like. I'm so focused on fighting. Like when people shake my hand, I shake the hand. They say my name, I walk. Like I'm not like feeling what external is going on. Just inside, I'm just like, you know, like controlling myself inside. Is outside doesn't even exist. And then like he was saying my name, but I'm not joking. I don't even remember when he like what I felt. I don't. It was just completely
In the zone.
yeah. And I probably Giancarlo the same, and all the other fighters. We are so stressed at this point. Like you're going to make a final of a tournament that you always dream to win. You're gonna be excited about Chris Buffer?
Bruce.
What about you, Kenny?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, yeah, it's weird. Like when he's in there, you're not even aware. I'm just like so focused on my opponent that I'm just like somewhere else. It's cool looking back, just because Bruce is a legend. Now I'm friends with the guy. He's hilarious. But yeah, I think when you're in the moment, you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, all right, I just need to go out there and take care of business with this person right here in front of me. But having Bruce being a part of the event definitely adds a lot of flair, adds a specialness for the competitors. I'm sure like after they look back, like, wow, like, you know, Bruce Buffer introduced me for one of my matches. That's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I think Bruce had a UFC conflict this time around, but we got Michael Buffer to announce.
There we
for
go.
Everybody. So that's, you know, just as legendary.
Nice. Hey, Nicholas, I had an opportunity to train with Giancarlo before he went down to train with you guys in Austin when he was about to make the. I'm sure he's so much better now, but such a great kid, man.
Yeah, he is.
Really hard worker. How's his game looking prior to the big championship?
Actually, he feels and looks better than ever. Like this camp, all of us, we focus so much in make this 12 weeks camp as hard as we could, going over any injured personal problem, showing up twice a day, training on the weekend, 7 days, literally 7 days a week. And Giancarlo is right now seeing the results. Like right now, right before the event, like he feels so solid physically, mentally. He looks, and when you talk to him, you can tell he's in peace. Because once you have a beautiful camp, everything runs well. Even if you have injuries, I had a few injuries during the camp, but I was doing my best every time I had injuries. And Giancarlo, the same, you just feel in peace. Like I did my best. I overcame everything that life, God, whatever, put in front of me, so I'm ready to compete. And Giancarlo is in that stage right now. Like he's technically he developed a lot. His top game, his wrestling, his stance is so beautiful to watch, and his guard is like sharp in a way that is like impressive. Like the way he's creating entanglements on legs are just like mind blowing. I think he's coming to get his second world title, like no doubt at all. Like the way we
awesome.
train with each other is like wow, like he's a freaking beast, you know.
Who do you see as potentially Giancarlo's biggest competitor in this year's?
I think Pedro is gonna do a good job.
Pedro
this
Marinho?
ADCC, yeah, because he's a guy. Like, tell me in the last 2 years, like he's beating people, bro. And nobody talks as he's a guy who doesn't talk much, doesn't make much noise, so people kind of underestimate him. But he's beating everybody he's fighting, and like
Including Giancarlo. Right after ADCC, they fought him. Who's
yeah,
number
that
one.
happened. Yeah, like and he win, and then people like, okay, who is Pedro Marinho? But like he's winning. You know, like sometimes people, because it's pretty nice you watch what's going on online, Instagram, FloGrappling, like other platforms, but it's just like so superficial. But once you dive into the numbers and you see what each athlete was making in the last 2 years, you can have a better perspective about who is going to perform. And Pedro is definitely one of the guys. He's not the most technical guy ever. He's not at all, but he knows how to win, and he has winning lately. So I cannot take his credit out. You know,
For sure.
Crazy. Since ADCC, Pedro is 22-2.
2 for who?
Crazy.
You
You
and Mason.
Yeah, both
Yeah,
submissions.
and Mason
who?
actually
Oh,
he
Mason.
He's
was
a bull, man.
he was winning that match. It was so, I think it was I don't know what happened, but he was controlling the entire match and he was able to lose. I was so like, I was watching the fight on the backstage. I was like, Pedro, what's going on? Like you had the match the entire time, and then I call all the submission on my back before the match. That was pretty.
Triangle.
That was pretty gangster, by the way. But that's what I'm saying. Like Pedro, he's winning, and he's coming to a solid ADCC opponents for sure.
Definitely.
I think that's a good pick for sure.
Kenny, I got a question for you. So one thing that makes ADCC so cool, in my opinion, especially in 2022, was just how tuned in the fans were, like how knowledgeable,
man.
and just it seemed like everyone in the Thomas and Mack was like just not distracted, locked in on the matches. They knew every little nuance that happened. They were in on it. They knew, very informed fan base. What's kind of that atmosphere like? Like, do you like that? Can you feel that the fans are kind of like locked in, that it's just like a good fan experience overall?
I could go on and on about this, but I felt like this was like grappling's Ultimate Fighter moment in a way, just because of how big it felt, the energy, the knowledge of the crowd, just the anticipation before the matches got started. That was without a doubt the Super Bowl of grappling for me. And I think it's gonna. I mean, we're at an even bigger venue this time, but it's gonna go to that next level. And for me, it showed that we have the fans, we have the knowledge base, we have the competitors now to make it a huge sport, not just like, oh, they're putting on this tournament about, and yeah, great. We have these world-class competitors, but the crowd that night, that was the closest, and perhaps it was the same energy that I've felt at some of the biggest UFC fights that I've been to.
Wow.
And that's just no exaggeration. It just felt special. The energy just kept me going all weekend, man. It was amazing, and I can't wait to see what it feels like this time out.
And what do you think, Kenny? We should hire Taylor Swift to sing on our Super Bowl, or should skip?
To sing
Do you think it's an interesting
national
addiction
anthem
or
to
not?
start?
Is she available? I don't know.
I don't
Probably
know.
not, but I can text her. No, worries.
Okay,
I
perfect.
text her. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Ask her.
To your point, Kenny, I'm getting excited about the bracket reveal because I remember even like during the bracket reveal, the crowd reacted at the matches that I
Yeah.
thought like, oh, okay, Fabricio versus Colabate, big pop, great, and like the first round matches that we all knew were going to be just bangers. Everybody in the audience knew.
Yeah, they were
100%, man.
so locked in on that. I know, Reed, like you were running around, all of us were like getting fan interviews, stuff like that, and it's kind of like I remember you mentioning that, just the fans so informed.
Yeah, no, everybody knew exactly what was going on. Like I forget what even like the storylines were, but everybody was so clued in to Gordon and Andre, what was going on there. Everybody kind of was sitting in one camp or the other. Everybody had a pick. And everybody knew points, especially these days when we go to the trials events, the way that people like count down to points, halfway through the match and stuff like that. Like the fans are so informed and are making it so fun.
Yeah, that East Coast trials, they kind of
Absolutely.
kicked up that like the points thing, where the crowd would start counting it down, and then you hear the referee just yell points, and then it just kind of gets popcorned around the arena, just points, everyone mimicking it. I know Mo was talking about, I guess let's go around and let everyone give their take on this. Mo's going to have a clock with the countdown. I think it's sick, but we do have 3 matches going at once. I'm curious if we're just going to be constantly hitting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 countdowns. What do you guys think about that? You think it's going to be incredible listening to T-Mobile Arena count down and scream points
It's gonna
at the same
change.
time?
What's gonna change?
It was changed?
I don't know. They're
No,
changing something or not?
They're just gonna add a countdown clock
On the
to when
Jumbotron.
points come in.
Yeah.
So like kind of gets the fans.
Almost like Royal Rumble-esque,
Yeah.
like do the countdown before the new, but it's going to be a big countdown, and then points is going to hit on the match.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I think it's going to be crazy. What do you think, Kenny? You think that's going to be electric, or you think it's going to be chaotic?
I love it. I think anything that allows the fans to kind of be a little bit more involved and to inform them, I think is a great thing. Yeah, man, I just can't wait to feel that energy. I mean, just for the competitors, I can't even imagine. But for me, I'm just, calling matches or helping out, hosting and stuff. And I was feeling it. It was unlike anything I've been a part of in the past. So I can't wait.
Have you spent much time in the T-Mobile arena? Have you found the T-Mobile?
He's switching chest lock.
I have,
when he
I
was
have,
in the
and
bar
that's
triangle,
it's a
and then
massive
the
arena.
bar
It is
triangle.
absolutely world class. Most of my experience with it has kind of been backstage, kind of production wise, and then coming out. I actually courted Ryan Hall at T-Mobile, and it was unbelievable, man.
It feels like it's gonna be kind of special, a little extra having it be at like the Fight Capital in Vegas, but in the #1 arena on the Strip, T-Mobile. Like,
How many tickets we have sold?
It's sick.
I think they're like a week or two after they sold 10 or 12,000 tickets.
I heard it's like 14 already.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be packed.
Oh man.
Meregali, you want to talk what Giancarlo's doing here?
No, just same thing. Same thing I was explaining about back take, and Wagner made a mistake, but Giancarlo is not. He was working a chest lock to switch sides bar triangle, he scored again, and then he figure 4 legs and start working sit belt one more time to arm trap and finish hook. Like it's just such a easy, like look at here, he's gonna finish quick, like soon. Sorry.
Giancarlo really likes that top lock, huh? The arm behind the head submission.
Mm-hmm.
He was using that to kind of open Hulk up a little bit. I think he finished Tyson with that in the absolute.
I love how he grabs the chin to like lift the chin up with his hands,
yeah.
like right here. Like you don't see this too often, but it's so slick. Oh, look how he just
That's beautiful.
There it is.
Yeah, what a great way to open up the choke, just lifting.
Yeah, you don't think about it, but you're like, yeah, just lift the chin up, put your hand there.
That was crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
crazy.
He
moment
is
for
fired up,
Giancarlo.
man.
I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, that was such a breakout moment. Not many people were picking Giancarlo to win, and for him to kind
It
of
was like seed 14 or something. like,
Sure.
crazy.
and he dominated.
Yeah, but he wasn't the same. Like when he won trials, he wasn't the same Giancarlo that won ADCC. Like the amount of progress he made, like in a year or so, was just like wow, mind blowing.
If you're at home and you haven't seen Becoming Dangerous yet, that is a great kind of recap of
I
the
watch
story.
everything you guys drop.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Meregali.
No,
Kenny, you seen that one? Becoming Dangerous, the Giancarlo story?
I haven't. I got to check it out.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
John was the best actor, by the way.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
By
John,
far,
man,
not
John
for
Dan-
sure, by far.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
John Danaher, whenever he's like, you're doing an interview for a specific reason, he's so clued in on knowing exactly how it's going to be used and stuff. He'll kind of do like little emphasis like, now this next part is very important. And it's like, okay, sick, John. Thanks,
Better
thanks
listen.
for doing that.
Better listen.
yeah. Yeah. I'm glued to my seat right now.
So here we got. This was the big one, man. This was what everybody.
Which
was,
one was that?
This is the 99 plus final.
Oh, okay,
Nico
okay,
Ryan.
gotcha.
Ryan.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
it's
this was
yeah, the heel hook was like so beautiful, bro. Like,
Look at that
a young
Trey
young
back there.
Trey right
Young short-haired Trey.
there. But yeah, anytime you got Gordon Ryan out there, it definitely just feels a little, a little
he's
extra.
just so ahead, bro, of everybody. It's so beautiful to watch. The last host number 1, like everybody was quiet.
Yeah, it was. It really
He
cool.
was murdering. Like Josh is super nice dude. He trained with us. He's coming. I think next week he's arriving here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a very nice dude. Like he's
Yeah.
those like 300 pounds dude, strong but
Beast.
sweet on the same level. And he was just like controlling Josh like nothing, bro. And everybody quiet, waiting.
You could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, like everybody's just like wow.
Yeah, just like kind of in awe.
Like when you reach that level, this is greatness. Like when people cannot even talk while you are performing and represent your art, it's like crazy. And this is Gordon. ADCC is kind of different. It's like you shut off like 14,000 people is almost impossible. But like little events,
Yeah.
like host number 1, like 500 people, everybody's like, wow.
Yeah, and it's like Gordon's got haters, obviously, but even the haters, nobody
They
can.
can't.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna say? Talk about jiu-jitsu? Like,
Gordon steps up his game in these big moments too. I felt like he's even better at ADCC. He's just completely at home.
For sure. Definitely a guy
Love-
who rises up even
Yeah,
more
when the spotlight's on him, yeah, it's like he loves
Yeah.
it. He does.
Yeah, he's just giving him his leg. Like, go ahead, do something.
In the ADCC finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a tense match for sure as well. Watching
a lot
this
of
one.
drama
Yeah,
involved.
of course.
What are you doing during this one, Meregali? Are you over
I think I'm pretty sure I was watching the fight.
like over Matt's side, like in the corner?
Yeah, I'm
or-
pretty sure I was watching.
I mean, there had so much build up to this match at this point. Everybody really wanted to see this one and wanted to know how it was going to go.
And Rod beat Pena semifinal, which would be Pena and Gordon final. That would be the dream final.
Yeah,
This has
but
got to be a rare USA versus USA final
true.
in ADCC.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have many Americans winning ADCC, right?
Not
The past.
definitely not
More
as
and
many
more,
as Brazilians,
but-
but
Yeah.
I'm Italian, by the way.
you're Italian now. Oh, you and Giancarlo, Italian boys. No, you're no longer. You were Mr. America for a while.
I'm nobody, bro.
I'm putting him in the rankings
I
under.
just want to
Texas.
ride horses sometimes, drive my car around, do jiu-jitsu. I know shit about life anymore.
Corey, you got any stats on that? Do you know how many Americans have won or anything? Not to put you on the spot, but
It's not many.
We can look it up.
Gorge and Carlo.
Cade won.
yeah, Cade.
It's like maybe 5 or 6, I
18.
would guess.
18?
18 gold?
In
There's like some
history?
original
No,
guys.
no,
like-
no, no, I'm
18?
sorry, I'm looking at
Well, you had
From
Mark Kerr.
the beginning.
Hang on.
Yeah, from the beginning. You had Mark Kerr in there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a lot of those guys.
Kennedy, do you have an OG ADCC competitor that was kind of your guy you like to
No,
watch?
it's gonna
or
start. It's
anything?
gonna start.
Oh yeah.
It's 17.
Oh, there's
Bro,
that.
the way
So
Almost
tight.
gets
How
the
trouble
back
the
take there.
ankles is just
Yeah,
like
no one can control
I mean,
in this
always
position.
control.
I'm a
Look
huge
at how he
Marcelo
control the
Garcia
toes,
guy,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Gotta love Marcelo.
Yeah, Marcelo was the dude.
Yeah, he really was responsible for so much of the popularity of grappling early on.
There it is, Gordon.
That was beautiful.
There it is.
I checked Garcia's number. Yes, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, I was watching his fights early on. Not even like the ADCCs he won, but when he started doing nogi, the arm drags, I was kind of studying.
Yeah.
And his numbers are crazy, bro. Like he has 63% submission rate, if I'm not wrong. He lost 17 matches and won 60 something, but only in big events. And this is something that people misunderstand nowadays because we have media and everybody lies so loud. Like a guy like Marcelo Garcia, he has 80 fights. He lost 17 and won 63. Submission rate 63% from the fights he won, of course. But he only fight world champions. He only fought ADCC. He only fought IBJJF Worlds. Like, it's not an athlete that goes here and there, do super fights against nobody or doing opens to rise numbers. And people, when they check numbers, if you're just like checking the superficial part, you kind of, okay, so this guy has a bigger submission rate of this guy, but who they're fighting? Like, okay, he's fighting opens to build up his submission rate, and Marcelo Garcia was fighting open weight, weighing 80 kilos. Like, that was so impressive.
Yeah, Marcelo really was the guy. And we got a lot of his matches on FloGrappling too.
Yeah, a lot of those old
Yeah, a lot of his old
archives.
ones. Check them out from ADCC.
I think my subscription is over. I need to text someone.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Okay, we'll
Just
hook it up
kidding.
for sure.
He's
We'll
still
hook it
there.
We got you.
Just
Yeah, I
remind
got
I'm
us.
gonna negotiate for the next match. I want this sports and I want my subscription again.
It's 10 Americans have won 17 gold medals at ADCC.
Just
Wow.
Gordon won 6, right?
Gordon
Gordon's at
has
4.
No, I thought it was 5.
plus the
Five
super
plus
fight,
the super fight,
including
yeah.
super fight. So just weight division, it's 10 for 17. JT has 2. Gordon has
Adic, yeah.
4.
JT, that's right.
And then we got Big O, Mackenzie, Dean Lister, Robert Drysdale, Jeff Munson,
Mark Kerr,
Mark Kerr,
Rico Rodriguez.
Rico Rodriguez.
Yeah. So early on, Americans won, and then afterwards, Brazilians, right?
In
I mean, it's
2022,
been Brazilians
more
the whole time,
Americans
for
won than
sure.
Brazilians.
Do you think if I get married and become a real American would help my brand?
I don't know, man.
That is a
What are you
move.
asking?
I think your brand's
I'm gonna,
pretty
I'm gonna
pretty
call my
good.
girl
Yeah.
and see what we can do.
Yeah, you do have a solid brand.
Your brand's
already.
pretty chill, I think. It's pretty good right now. So
Yeah, so here we got on the screen now Meregali versus Tairu Atolo, a crazy one.
What a
Yeah,
match.
that-
Probably my favorite match of the match. This match was insane.
that was pretty crazy.
absolutely was crazy. in
What's it like
general.
fighting a Rutolo?
Look at this. Look at this. Phew.
Uchimata.
Bam. You know what I want to do? I think I want to quit jiu-jitsu and win a Olympic medal in judo.
Yeah.
I think I can do that. I'm gonna talk to Satoshi.
That was
He talked to Satoshi Ishii about getting linked up.
Satoshi would invite me for just one training session. He would break my spine in half, and I would quit.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
that's the
cream
thing
my
about
plan.
judo, bro. Those guys are so aggressive. They
I
throw
know,
so hard. It's like,
Satoshi's
holy
so
shit.
aggressive.
You could definitely find a country to just be on the team, probably.
Yeah, but then go to Olympics and die.
Yeah, yeah.
Move like.
Kenny, you've been watching much Olympic judo?
No, I didn't watch
A
it.
little bit. I watched a little bit.
Wrestling starts tomorrow, so that should be exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Big Dake fan.
For sure.
Yeah,
Kyle
it's
Dake's the man.
Yeah, he's finally trying to get his Olympic gold medal. Like, that would be sick. That would be cool.
Yeah, man.
Meregali, whenever you watch, I don't know if you watch Olympics, but if you do you cheer for Brazil or America now?
That is a very good question.
It's an important question for everybody watching, right?
It depends.
Or Italy.
No,
Or Italy, yeah.
no. I think when I'm watching sports, I don't cheer for a country. I cheer for the athlete who does better. I like to see the better athlete performing and like showing art. That's what
Yeah.
I like. So when I'm watching sports, I'm not watching guys who has a nice brand or who they have the hype, or it's just like, okay, so who is doing better? Who is controlling more?
You want to see like the true top dog.
Expression,
That's,
yeah.
that's
Working
expression of the art.
Yeah.
How serious is this Darce that's going on?
You want to talk us through this
Yeah,
stuff?
that was tight. That was definitely tight. But size difference, of course, and he should had to spin to keep adjusting the Darce in order to finish. And I also had to spin, and I just allowed the Darce to be tight. I didn't allow, actually, it was my mistake. I allow in a way where I didn't turn my belly up enough, because the first one of the first responsibles that we need to have in order to defend Darcy strangles is also point the belly to the same direction that your opponent is turning the belly. So, because I can give an example, when they have the Darcy and they high step to mount is the tightest it can get, or they close the jump close guard, same thing, as tight as it can get. And when you have Darcy's coming from scrimmage or half guard situations like that, the first response is spinning to create alignment belly to belly, not facing, but facing the same direction, not facing the opposite, like face to face. You know what I'm saying? Was clear enough?
Yep, definitely.
You want to get Corey down there? You can show us. You don't have
No, I'm fine.
You want to show Corey unconscious?
to. Yeah.
Your hair would disturb us. for sure.
Yeah. There was a guy in the comments earlier who said he wants to see Meregali eventually invent the Nogi loop choke. Is that a possibility? You think you could pull that off somehow? It'd be pretty hard, but
You hit it on Nalati and no one thought you could.
You know,
loop choke.
yeah.
Loop.
I have a crazy move that
got
I'm
long
hitting
arms.
so many times in the gym. I would try hit at ADCC in my
Alright.
first or second match. It's like a crazy move.
Whoa.
You guys will like it.
Okay.
Stone
It's
Cold
not a
Stunner.
loop choke.
Yeah, I was gonna
Loop
say,
choke's
was it a rock
impossible. What am I
bottom?
gonna do? It's from bottom. Yeah. I don't do anything crazy. My jiu-jitsu is pretty simple. Very boring.
The smother choke's pretty crazy though.
As a wild one.
Which one?
The smother.
Smother? You don't see
Yeah.
people doing that one.
There was a crazy smother last night from Kleber Souza at BJJ Stars. He got
Really?
to mount and 5 seconds later the guy was tapping.
Furiously
It was a
tapping.
crazy squeeze.
66-kilo guy.
Wow.
Yeah, small guy.
I feel like the smother tap is it's different than a regular tap. To tap to a smother choke is like a furious tap always.
You're talking about the physical
yeah,
act.
yeah,
Oh.
the act of a tap.
Much more of a panicked,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Panic tap.
yeah, yeah.
Because you don't have the choke out there. You're just asphyxiating
Yeah.
person. So if you pendulum legs and shake side to side, you would be able to avoid this motor tap. So, but people, they normally tap because they are tired. They get like fuck.
Yeah, they start
sweat,
freaking out.
Yeah.
Like,
There's something very satisfying about hitting a smother choke, though. Like you have so much pressure where the guy on bottom has to tap out. I don't know. Feels good sometimes.
certainly.
Kenny, that
Nicholas,
sounds
would
like a
you
humble
agree?
brag that you're hitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah,
you're.
go ahead and tell us the story, Kenny.
No,
Who
I'm
you
just
who you
fat.
doing
I'm
this
just
to?
Fat. I'm just fat. But I think as far as the application of your weight, your control, I think it says a lot. Meregali, knows how to do this. Gord knows how to do this from mount, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's kind of like a total dominance.
is it
move,
sweeter?
like,
Is
you
it
know.
sweeter, Meregali? Is it a sweeter tap?
Sweeter? What that means?
Feel better.
Is it, yeah, is it
If
just,
I feel good when I do that?
More satisfying.
yeah, is it more satisfying?
I don't do much at the gym because it's kind of embarrassing. So I don't want to,
Yeah.
embarrass my training partner. No, for real. Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of embarrassing.
yeah.
It is.
But it's satisfying for sure. Like, I hit once, twice in competition I did. Pans and
Cisco low.
Biggie.
Yeah.
And Francisco and one guy at Pans. But, yeah. Very satisfying.
Is hitting a smother choke on somebody in the gym, is that an immediate escalation?
Is
Like
it an
now,
immediate fist fight?
yeah, does that guy now
Prison
have
rules.
to come back harder and really try to come at you?
They normally come back not harder. They come back like, fuck.
Yeah.
A little defeated. I guess that's the reality of that.
It de-escalates.
Like, you feel
This is true.
defeated. Like, yeah, fuck, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you were playing around with the S mount smother for a while.
I do very
I
well.
like the S mount smother, dude. That one's kind of sick.
Actually, the S mount is not the S. I'm not trying to choke people. I'm building up to my armbar, but in order to build up there, I have double under, so I add this little step. It's just a pit stop, and it's pretty solid.
Just to make it super
Bro, it's
uncomfortable.
Just a
disgusting.
pit stop, dude. Just
Yeah.
absolutely cooking your
Yeah.
training partner right there.
What about the
See,
buggy?
I knew Nicholas enjoyed that. I knew he.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could tell.
Imagine finish a final, ADCC final with a Smother tap.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Kinda, I'm sorry.
What about the buggy? Are you messing around with the buggy? Did you ever mess around with
No, I don't like buggy.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool, but if you don't have the right genetic and you're not fighting the right person, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like I cannot. Can you see? Like you have a jiu-jitsu class, like your coach. Can you teach bug chokes in class? No, you can't. Like you need to have a very specific type of person to be able to hit the bug choke. So why are you gonna teach? Why are you gonna try this move? It's a low effective move. You just need like Smother taps, kind of a good move because you can add and do not waste energy. You know.
Yeah, and it is kind of being shown now that like Clever Souza, like a 66-kilo guy, J-Rod's hit smother chokes. Like you don't have to just be huge to hit a smother.
Yeah,
like it
it's
is
a technical move. Yeah.
Yeah. What Joe was kind of asking this earlier. What is it like to fight a Ruotolo? Because they do kind of like move at a level and like at a constant rate that I don't think a lot of guys do. They just are always moving, always trying to counter.
Yeah, they move pretty quick. I feel like one of the main attributes they have is definitely control the pace. Like the way they control the pace, not the way that Gordon does and I do and Roger used to do. Like we start from 0 and then we go up to 100. Like they start high and they keep it high, because they are not technically very precise. So they try beat people by moving, and in order to beat people by moving, by creating motion, they need to keep the pace high. And at the same time, they have this ability of control pace. They have a very, not say weird, but I can say weird physic attributes. Like at the same time, they are tense, they are relaxed, and they're very flexible. Upper body as well, shoulders. So they have this ability of creating scrimmage just by moving the body to different directions. Sometimes it's not even the right direction, but because they are creating so much momentum by rising the pace, they are able to escape from pretty much anything. So they are tough guys to fight against for sure.
Definitely.
Just crossed over to overtime.
And they are also in a very good spot. Like they are still young, they have the love of the people, they have nothing to prove. Like they're not a type of guy like myself. A lot of people want to see me losing. I don't feel the pressure at all, but I know there's this type of pressure on my career as well. If Ty Rotulo or Cage Rotulo, they lose, fine. They're young, they're nice, they surf, they're nice kids. Like people wouldn't talk shit at all, you know? So they are playing this game in a very comfortable spot. Can you see how his body moves weird to different directions in order to disengage and engage and rise the pace?
I think one of the craziest examples of the Ruotolo is just moving their body in a way that's just like almost confusing.
It's almost not human.
Yeah, his match with Isaac, where he kind of got put down and then just like flips his hips out, puts his leg back in, and sweeps Isaac immediately.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, yeah, it was just weird to watch. Like that was one
no
you just
level
watch
at
over
all.
and over.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That technique, that hip bump he hits, is maybe the most complicated execution of the simplest sweep in jiu-jitsu, right? It's a hip bump from close guard, but right off of a switch, and it just makes the most fundamental thing look
Super
impossible.
complex. Yeah.
They're very good at corralling you into their strong points. Like they have a game that's based around, side to side passing, and basically the only way to kind of stop it is to try to get to your side or scramble up, which puts them right into their darts and their front chokes, and it's menacing, and they'll do it incessantly until they get what they want.
For sure. Yeah, just a couple of dudes who've just trained since before they've kind of done anything else in life, honestly. Just from diapers. Meregali, you're kind of one of the outliers, and it feels like more and more the people we see on big stages like ADCC and everything have trained since they were like 4 years old, 5 years old. You started when you were an adult, right? Like
I started
18,
when
19?
I was 16 in my hometown, and then I started actually my career when I was 19, because my hometown was training once a day, like 14,000 people. We barely had information. But then I moved to the gym I lived for 5 years, Marreis Academy. Marreis was my coach, and I lived there for 5 years, and then my career just, because before I didn't have information, not talking in a bad way, but like when you're from a small city, things are not on the same pace,
Certainly.
So I started at 19. 19 I was blue belt, and then things like 19 blue belt, 20 purple, 21 purple, 22 brown, and then I won my first world title, 23. first my debut as a black belt. I beat Leandro Lo in the final. It's pretty epic.
Nicholas,
So legendary.
did you foresee jiu-jitsu submission wrestling being as big as it is today when you first started? Like, was that a thing that you said, oh, one day I want to compete at this level, or I hope that jiu-jitsu one day is at this level?
Not really. I think I had a very small perspective about what jiu-jitsu could be, like professionally speaking. I think I love jiu-jitsu. Not I think, I'm sure I love jiu-jitsu, and that is why I chose my career, and I dedicated my entire life for that. But I never expected jiu-jitsu would become such a sport where nowadays we have people starting at 5 years old, dreaming about turning 19 and become a professional athlete. And people making money, making a living, retiring. I think in the future, pretty soon we're gonna be, I'm saying like cycles of 10 years, we're gonna become athletes like football players. Like we're making millions a year, retiring at 35 and live life. And the entire industry also will grow up and spread out to different directions. But I didn't think much about those things. Also because in Brazil we don't have the same sports culture that we have in here. Here in America, people they are also thinking as a business. Like sport is a business. Sport's not just sport. Like in Brazil, jiu-jitsu is a martial art. I'm doing for proud. And if I make money, fine, but it's not money, the main focus, you know. So here, everybody, everything that Americans touch, they try to make money. They try to sell pay-per-view. They try to make huge, you know. So that's why when I started, I didn't have any idea about that. So I was just like, okay, so I want to become a world champion one day. But now I'm kind of seeing like that, you know.
Has the focus for you always kind of been just showcasing the art? It seems like you really are much more on the true artist side of a jiu-jitsu practitioner.
I like more. I think like financially, I'm gonna succeed either way. I'm kind of smart, so I'm not, you know.
You're going to be an engineer, right? Weren't you in school to be?
I would be an engineer. Yeah, I quit engineer to move to Porto Alegre to live jiu-jitsu when I was 19. I was coursing engineer for 3 months, and but jiu-jitsu is my passion. So every time I sit down and I align my priorities and goals in life, jiu-jitsu is my priority. I love jiu-jitsu. Money is there as well. I need to have my safety for my future, but still I'm not making jiu-jitsu for money. That's why right now, for example, I made this decision of stop talking a little bit because I'm just so fulfilled with jiu-jitsu. I can just train jiu-jitsu, make money just by training, by competing and living my purpose. So I just want to be so impeccable in my art, and there's everything that matters for me.
For sure. Kenny, you're a guy who's kind of dedicated his life to martial arts as well, whether it be MMA, everything, you know. How important is that for an athlete to kind of have that connection with the sport and like that love for it in something like grappling or MMA to be successful?
Yeah, I think it's huge. You know, I think if you want to be the best at what you do, you need something that is going to allow you to take it to that next level. And I think having that spiritual element of wanting to show who you are, and you know, having the idea that I'm going to do that every single time out, and that I have a purpose every single day. I'm trying to be the best in the world, and you have infrastructure around that to allow you to do that, meaning, you know, getting paid, you know, having people see you, having a following, that just makes it that much better. And yeah, so, and I think that kind of really wasn't a possibility for a jiu-jitsu athlete or you know, a no-gi athlete. You know, that really wasn't too much of a thing if you go back even, you know, 10 years ago. So now I think we've built up this infrastructure where now you can do that. You can be a big deal. You can make a lot of money doing this sport, which is also going to allow the sport to evolve. Other people are going to see this as a path and go, wait a sec, I can actually do this. I can make a living off of this, actually make a really good living off of this, as opposed to back then, the only thing you really could do was open up a school. So the fact that you have these more opportunities for athletes is only going to make the sport bigger and better.
Certainly.
Did you think this stuff was like inevitable, has it exceeded your expectations in terms of where grappling has grown to?
I thought it was only a matter of time. I think you go back when I started in like show my age here. I started in like 1998. You know what? The place that I had to go to do jiu-jitsu was really Brazil. Yeah, I had an academy to train at outside of Boston, but if I wanted to train and learn from the best, I had to go physically to Brazil. Now we have this thing called, the internet, where you can go and watch some of the best people in the world compete every single weekend. So you can learn in that manner. Not to mention, there's jiu-jitsu academies all over the country now, all over the world now. So you're just a short search away from finding a place to train at, whereas before that was not the case. So it's grown tremendously. And I think as a byproduct, we're having all these other elements to compete and show our art and, compete against the best in the world. And that's where you get better and better athletes and better events.
Can you describe the atmosphere for us here, Kenny? What do you remember from Andre and Gordon stepping on the mats here?
Crazy one.
Yeah. So again, the energy was absolutely insane. We've been hearing these guys talk trash for years and years and years. There was a huge buildup to this, and finally it was happening. So the anticipation was awesome. The energy you could cut with a knife, and just the walkouts to everything was just amazing.
This is the physique I'm rolling up to ADCC with.
I look like that.
Yeah,
to
wish.
be honest. Me and Galvin shirtless.
You guys look
He's a little darker than
Yeah,
me.
man,
That's
Galvao
it.
looked
We're
like the
same thing.
Incredible Hulk when he walked out.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing will beat Andre Galvao's physique in 2019 against Philippe.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Shoulders have shoulders.
Didn't even really seem humanly possible.
Yeah.
This will be our last match, by the way.
This is the last one? All right.
But
Nicholas, do you think when people game plan for Gordon and knowing how Gordon kind of paces the matches, they try to do what Andre looks like he's doing here, trying to bully him around a little bit, push the pace, and start at 100 so that if Gordon's ramping up to 100, they're starting, they have an advantage for the first couple minutes?
Not actually. Like, technically speaking, Gordon is so ahead. Not only making grips, but positioning his body in ways where there's no lack, there's no space, there's no missing part on his game, that even if you rise your pace, it's not going to be enough to beat him. You definitely need to beat him technically speaking in order to get something. So if Gordon is going 30%, 40, actually Gordon started kind of faster in this match. If Gordon is starting 40 and Galvin is starting 100, Galvin doesn't have any more lever to go. He only can go until 100. So naturally, he's going to come 100 to 90, 90 to 80, 76 in order to zero, order to be tapped. And Gordon does the opposite. He starts 40, and then he rises the pace to get the position advantage here, as you guys can see. And once he controls Galvin hips, as he's doing right now, drive him back, flattening hips on the mats. So now he shuts down the pace to 30 to 40 max. Like, he rises just enough to create some solid connection in a positive scenario for him. And right now he can slow down the pace, control Galvão, let Galvão freak out, punching, benching, pressing his body from bottom, and then he will build up the submission. So pace is something that if you manage well, you're always gonna take advantage from it. It's never gonna be something that you're gonna lose. Pace, most of the times when I fighting someone who has high skill level, it's, to not say the most important thing, maybe one of the top 3 priorities in your game. Like, because technically speaking, when you are hitting a movement at any black belt, high black belt level, they know how to react about everything, but the speed you're using, the way you build up the submission, the way you're controlling the pace matters more than the technique by itself. And that's what Gordon does so well. He manages the speed of the fight, so he knows when he rises to get some advantage and when he shuts down to maintain control. That is why the idea of backtracking is so effective, because he's always like moving forward, feeling risk, backtracking. So he's still in control. He's never just moving forward, progressing, visually progressing, but not controlling the fight full time, Like right now, he's gonna play his backtrack idea, like camping, half guard, mount, backtracking again, camping, forcing half guard. He always like play inside this split squat scenario, and it's terrible for Galvin, by the way, bottom position, like terrible.
Pacing is obviously like a huge part of the stuff John teaches and stuff, right? Has training with John and Gordon, has that been kind of huge for
For sure.
your skill with pacing a match and everything?
Yeah, I didn't have this knowledge before. Like that's why I'm so. First of all, I'm grateful for them because I wasn't in a good spot mentally and professionally and personally when I moved to here, and I'm even more grateful for them because they are sharing everything they know, asking anything in return, just loyalty. And my job is just as a friend, as a teammate, just be as loyal as I can and represent the team in the best way, and just share this philosophy that John teaches us Sunday to Sunday, twice a day, no matter what holiday. John is always there sharing, asking no money, asking no return at all, media wise, whatever. Like he's always for the team.
For sure. You said it was one of the top 3 most important things. What are the other 2?
I think body positioning is pretty important. Once you have good body positioning, you can definitely not move and still being effective. And a few set of techniques that you can create a path to the victory. Because when you analyze black belts, most of the black belts, like 95%, they are very good in 1 or 2 moves. Once they don't hit those 1 or 2 moves, they lose the match because the match goes away from what they're good at. But once you have a nice skill set where everything is aligning and going to a direction where the submission is the answer, chest to chest mounts or chest to back takes, you can definitely be more effective long term. The longevity of your career can be more solid. Like Gordon, he's just winning. Like I think he's 6-0, right? Something like that. Because he has this set of techniques. Of course, he's overall good in any technique, but he has this game plan. He doesn't have only one sweep. He doesn't have just one guard passing. You know, like Rotulus, they only have Darces. If the Darce is not there, what they do? Like Gordon, he can choke from back. He can choke people from headlock. He can, mount armbar. He can pretty much build up the trail to the victory.
ADCC always seems to be like the kind of mile marker for where the trend of techniques goes every couple of years. Like 2017, we saw a ton of leg locks, and then for the next 2 years, everybody was doing leg locks. And then I think 2019, it was mostly like wrestling up and maybe playing some closed guard in Gordon's case. 2022 was very top game heavy, right? Everybody was passing the guard, working on takedowns. What do you think 2024 the trend is?
I think the next ADCC is going to be decided by who has a better stand-up game, like fully stand-up game, who wrestles better. Technically speaking, people are not that good top and bottom position. People, they move a lot, but they're not technically good. But wrestling, scrimmage wrestling basically, because grappling is scrimmage wrestling, people are getting better every year. They know how important it is hand fight your opponent. They know how important it is high shots. They know how important it is judo throws, under over, tideways. Like people are incrementing more things on the wrestling part, and I think that's gonna be the huge advantage if you have a good game on the feet. That is definitely what's gonna make a difference on your performance at ADCC.
Can you hear John? Are you listening to John in matches?
He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
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 12 minutes to work, Nicholas
There's a
Meregali.
couple things.
I know it's 12. I don't need to say I'm watching the screen.
Okay.
He doesn't believe he can help. Like, he barely interferes when, like, let's say I have underhook out there and I'm not seeing. He says underhook, so I can hear him and then I get the underhook. But he believes that the entire work's done at the gym, and if you are... And this is pretty smart, actually. Like, when we are fighting, everything's so quick, so tense. We are so stressed on the mats. So any if he interfere a little bit, he will bring me problems to my mental decision. Like he thinks the more he let me work, the faster I'm gonna make my decisions. So if he gives me a little tip and he changes the direction I'm thinking to go, it probably not gonna be as beneficial as if I'm choosing by myself, because my skills they must be ready to compete, and if they're not ready, I'm gonna lose and fine. But I'm making my own decisions.
We asked Luke Griffiths something similar about that, and he talked about the same thing. But then he also mentioned how Big Dan, when Big Dan corners him like at trials and stuff, he said Big Dan just says way too much, and he can't like he doesn't know which option he's actually supposed to do because Big Dan's saying every possible
saying, yeah.
thing. But he also said Big Dan gets pissed at him whenever after the match would be like, "Why were you listening to me? Why didn't you do what I said?" So
Yeah, I like more John's approach. I always had my coach, my first one, Hayes. He used to scream so much and try like
Way different.
Yeah, way different. Like he always tried to control the match from outside, because I'm inside. I'm not seeing everything. It's normal. Nobody can see everything that's going on the match. But I like more John's approach. Like he's quiet. We speak before the match. We speak after, and we keep building. Like it's not something. It's like 10 minutes, bro. 15. You're not gonna say me few words, and I'm gonna win the match because you remind me those things during the match, you know?
mm-hmm.
I always see when you or Giancarlo or Gordon comes off the match, that's when it seems like John is saying the most, right? The seconds after the match. What kinds of things is he saying when you come off the mat?
He normally says, like, if you do a good job, of course, like, good job, nice. Like, he was pretty impressed with my last performance. I was number one, the Army Dragon, the way I backtrack on Wagner. He just gives, like, quick... congratulations, how can you say that?
Praise.
Compliments, sorry. Quick compliments, and life goes on, and we keep working, because jiu-jitsu is like, it's a long-term investment. It's like a compound action. Like, you train for 20 years and you keep learning, and you go to the gym one day randomly, you learn a little skill that you tried to learn for 5 years and didn't work out, and somehow it just magically you are there. And like, it's not going to be a huge conversation after or before the match who is changing the direction of the fight, you know? So that is why John, and I love this style, and I feel great when he let us play. Like, we are working so hard 7 days a week. Why are we going to talk so much during the event? Let us play, you know?
Sure. This term backtracking you've used a couple times. I've heard camping and everything, you know, that kind of came out of you guys' camp, but backtracking, is that kind of like is this the next little new wave
This is
nugget
what Gordon
that's
does.
leaking out there?
Probably he explained somewhere. I don't know if he started explaining that. But backtracking is just the idea of maintain control for longer instead of progress, even having a comfortable spot to play. Like, sometimes if you're looking at backtracking, you have mount, someone is keeping escaping, and then instead of just lose mount by trying to hold the mount, you backtrack half guard. So you land half guard, you have the hips. So you're losing the control about half guard. Instead of allow your opponent to close guard or stand up, you just backtrack to camping. You just backtrack to entanglements where you have ankles so you can hold people down. So you're always playing a game where backtracking, I don't know what's the translation for this word actually, but you're always maintaining control by stepping a little bit backwards. And you're still in a good spot to work. You're not putting yourself in danger because you are trying to go too far, you know?
Yeah, I would assume also there's an aspect of like getting your opponent to exert more energy than you are by like kind of constantly getting back to that position. And
yes, because the gravity. That's why top position is so important in grappling. Like, you have no grips. Like, what am I gonna do from bottom? I need to create connection, and in order to create connection against someone who is, look at Galvão holding Gordon's shin. Gordon just switched sides.
now he has the
That
arm
was
trapped
so
as
crazy.
well.
Yeah, did you see that? Like, he literally hold Gordon's shin to allow Gordon to figure forward legs. It was like, wow.
I think it's coming up soon where the referee tells Gordon to
Action,
be more
like,
active.
what are you talking about?
You look at the position and you tell
Yeah,
me.
like, bro, I hate,
arm
bro,
trapped.
I lose my mind when I see referees interfere in the fight. I understand you guys want attention, but just shut the fuck up.
There you go.
Like, how can you come? Like, I was watching Buchecha and Roger Gracie these days. The referee was calling action. Bro, you are talking to the best two guys ever having a fight, and you're gonna tell them what to do. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, let them do
You
it.
don't know.
whatever they
You
want.
don't know what's going on. Like you have no clue at all. Like now he's talking action, action. Like what the hell is that? And Drago and Gordon Ryan fighting, and you gotta listen a referee telling you to move with arm trap. What else Gordon has to
2
do?
minutes now.
Yeah.
Stab a knife on Galvin's back.
Nicholas, you did a great breakdown of that Buchecha and
Did you
Roger
like it?
match. Yeah. It's
I was more talking about pace. That was the main thing about the fight,
We
and
also
avoiding the game A. You know.
That's up on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's still there.
We also have a
Nicholas,
breakdown
did you
coming
get
this
an
week.
opportunity?
Sorry, Kenny, please.
I was going to ask, Nicholas, did you get a chance to move around with Hodger when he
Yeah,
when he
yeah. It was a
visited?
very nice experience. It was a very nice experience
That's awesome.
because
Was it gear?
he
No.
always inspired me so much. Now he got the finish. Yeah, Roger always inspired me so much, and when I had a chance to, like, touch him, you know what I mean, like train with him, it was very inspiring. I was like, wow, I want to be like him in the future. He's one of the guys I look up. Like, okay, I want to be like Roger. You know,
That's cool.
All subs? You gonna do it all subs?
it's yes,
Yeah. Is Hodger the?
Roger did it.
Yeah,
Hodger did.
2005, right?
2005.
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'm doing all subs is 8cc. It's 8 submissions.
I mean, if you go all subs, division and absolute double gold, that would be
Bro,
incredible.
Talk about it
like
for a long
yeah,
time.
and
That'd
we are talking we are in 2024.
Yeah.
Like we have a sport nowadays. Like everybody is like it's only training grappling. You know, like it's going to be pretty impressive. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to talk. What am I going to do? What am I going to do out there? People are not ready.
That's what he's
Gordon-
saying. I'm trying to
I'm
get him.
trying, yeah, like
He's like, I'm trying
Bro,
to choke him, bro.
go to home and talk to a wife, buddy.
Gordon in 2022, whenever he didn't submit Victor Hugo, you would have thought Gordon lost the match. He was devastated. He was very obviously
Yeah.
trying to get the all submissions.
Even in
Yeah.
2019, when he didn't submit Hulk, he was just devastated. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like, well, Gordon, you're still gonna win. Like,
Yeah.
Nicholas, if you go 8 subs in 2024, how's Gordon gonna feel about that?
I hope he feels pretty bad. I hope. We talk so much shit to each other. There's a funny story. Like Gordon, like he's speaking up right now for ADCC. Like he's healthy, he's trained well, and he's having hard rounds against Luke. Luke is so tough. Luke is those dudes that's like it's almost impossible to do
here
anything.
it comes. Looks like
Yeah,
Wow.
the chokes there. This story is fun. I can tell later. That was crazy.
Sure.
Got him.
Gordon's his like hand fighting from the back is just so underrated too.
I think this match was the peak of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like the jiu-jitsu industry, that was the peak.
For sure.
Until 2024.
Yeah, let's see what happens for 2024. But I don't think we have such a big drama as we had.
It is certainly
2020.
hard to replicate. Like,
We have a different drama right
situation.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was years of build up between the two of them,
And also Gordon become the GOAT, the
Yeah,
greatest,
passing of the
and
torch.
ADCC being 12,000 people watching. Like there was so many little facts that made this moment so huge. You know?
Certainly.
absolutely.
What was the story you're gonna tell? Gordon's been mixing it up with Luke, and
Okay, so they're training together. Like Gordon is going because Gordon somehow when he starts having rounds against you, he keeps sparring against you for 5 days straight, and then he was sparring against Luke, and then Gordon was getting tired because Luke's so huge, and then Gordon asked like for help, and then I was like, okay, so I can deal with Luke tomorrow, and then I deal with Luke, and I did better than Gordon. Then I text Gordon, hey bro, like you gotta do better, you know. And then Gordon next day he came to the gym and he said, man, when you text me, I was staring at my phone for 10 minutes, just thinking about what you said. And then we are now both, and Luke probably he's kind of sad because we are both competing to be Luke basically. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
sounds brutal for Luke.
Yeah, no, bro, brutal for us. Like Luke, I don't know how. Like he has so much energy and he's so huge. Like everything you do on him hurts. Like I had a session with him 3 days ago, and I kind of hurt my knee. My knee is kind of bad because like you touch him, you feel pain. It's kind of weird.
He's huge, man. Every time I see him, I feel like he gets bigger.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
What's the most difficult match for Luca plus 99?
Maybe Big Dan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like having this clash with a training partner is not something comfortable because we like each other. We're not only training partners; we hang out together all the time. Okay, we're gonna fight as a training session, but still, it's different. But I can see Luke winning the division. I don't know how it's gonna play out, Big Dan and Luke, and I'm not taking sides. I like both.
Felipe's in there too.
Yeah, but I can tell I can see Luke winning easily 9-9, like easily,
Wow.
because
Wow.
Luke's game matches perfectly well with Pena's game. Like perfectly well. Everything that Pena does the best, Luke has the best game to shut down. The best Luke's game shuts down Pena's game. So I think he gonna beat Pena easily, in my opinion. Not easily, of course, long match, Pena's a tough dude, but he's winning for sure. And the other guys he's gonna smoke. Like Roosevelt, he just fought Roosevelt, he tapped in like 3-4 minutes. Who else in the division?
Hecky, Jusula there.
Yeah, like guys that Luke can deal easily. Like I think Luke's making the final against Pena if I would.
like
if I could
Perez
pick, yeah.
in there.
Yeah, they're not same level. They're good guys, but we're talking about different. Like it's different, you know, almost different sport.
Kenny, I want to ask you, just kind of, as we're wrapping up here, we got to see some of the highlights from 2022, an incredible event. But what's your expectation for 2024 ADCC? How do you see all that going down? What do you think it's going to be like?
Man, every single time it's always better. I expect the same this time out. I think everything from the crowd to the level of competition, we're going to take it up another notch. And man, I'm so giddy to be out there.
For sure. It's going to be a lot of fun. Meregali, I got to
Yeah.
ask you, because I told the comments I would bring up the stuff they ask, and they're all commenting about Mika right now. Did Mika call you out last night or something at BJ Stars? Do you know, Joe? He probably did it in Portuguese.
Yes,
so.
he did. Yeah, he did.
What do you think about that?
Again, I'm not talking against. I'm not talking against anybody anymore. Not answering anybody. I'm gonna be at ADCC, and one more time, I proved that I'm the level that who else I'm gonna face. I'm not gonna win. I'm gonna control and do whatever I want. So, if he wants to fight, come for ADCC open weight and we can fight. Same as Protulos, they want to fight. Come for ADCC and we fight, because they cannot fight one. One, you gotta lock up 10 years contract to fight one. I'm not gonna do that to fight Ty Rotulo. Like, come to the events I'm fighting, and then we can do that. And any other man that wants to fight me, just go where I am. I'm the second best grappler in the world. I know there's rankings. Even the floor ranking, I'm like maybe the number 7, whatever. But I'm the only guy who is consistently beating people in a fashion and outstanding way, and who wants to fight me to prove that is better than me, come to me. I don't need to come to anyone else. I'm in the position, and I'm gonna handle this spot for the next 10 years, and I'm just getting better month by month, and I hope the best of people. Simple as that.
Well, certainly as a fan of jiu-jitsu, I would love to see Mika Galvao, Nicholas Meregali in the absolute. I think that would be
fun.
an incredible match.
Woo.
Yeah.
Juicy.
But yeah, I guess anything else? Kenny, you got anything you want to say?
Before we get out of here,
Yeah.
Nothing, man. Just looking forward to seeing you guys out there in Vegas. Safe travels, everyone. And I think Nicholas got us all very excited about ADCC.
For
even
sure.
more.
Definitely so. Nicholas, anything else from you?
No, I'm totally fine. Life is great.
Life is
subscribe to
great.
your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I have.
if you want,
Yeah, if you guys whatever have YouTube channel, Instagram, just follow me there. If you guys follow, fine. If you guys like, fine. If you guys don't like, also fine. Life is a big hate nowadays, and whatever happens, happens. I'm just happy with my family, friends, jiu-jitsu, my passion, my money in the bank, and life goes on.
For sure. Kenny, anything you want to plug or anything? Anywhere you're putting out content or where the people can see more of you?
No, that's pretty much it. They can hit me up on social media at Kenny Florian, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody that tuned in.
KennyFlorian.com too. Thank you.
There we go. KennyFlorian.com. But thank you everybody to in the chat who tuned in, everybody who's watching, you know, hopefully you enjoyed looking back at a little bit of 2022 ADCC Worlds. I'm excited for August 17th and 18th, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, the biggest grappling show on earth, honestly. It's going to be incredible from top to bottom. I can't wait. We'll see everybody in Vegas. Thank you guys.
13 days away, folks.
Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, Nicholas.
See you guys.